and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning, and it is Wednesday. And here we go again. You know, I was thinking back, it's kind of like Groundhog Day. Every week it happens. It's another freaking Wednesday. I don't love Wednesdays. The best part of Wednesday is Beth comes in. Good morning, Beth. You got to get your mic on. I'll figure out how to do this.
I was just going to say, thank you?
Yes.
Question mark?
Well, and I'm
You're the first face I see on Groundhog Day every day.
and I hate Wednesdays, but Beth is all
Good
right.
to see you too, hon.
Anyway, good morning. I got a lot of stuff that is on my mind here that we're going to get to here this morning. I probably should have written it down because it's all over the place. First of all, I'll tell you that yesterday I went to the Falcon Clinic, and
Did you have your adjustment?
no, I did. Instead, I did, and I know this sounds wacky, but so we have a refrigerator freezer. Freezer doesn't work. The ice maker doesn't work. Stupid.
I was just going to say,
Samsung.
I believe this is that bulky
Samsung. Well, they
fridge.
put the ice maker in the door, and so that means the ice maker is in the actual ice maker is in the refrigerator. So what happens is it doesn't stay. It somehow it cracks. I don't know what happens to it, but we'll get it working. It'll work for a month, and then it doesn't work anymore. And I've had them come in from Samsung. We're just sick of the whole. Now you got to clear everything out of the refrigerator and freezer. It's a pain in the neck. Wow, the Just Neon clock is on. Maybe we'll even get the time right in a little while. We'll adjust.
Don't ask
that.
for too much.
Good point.
One step at a time.
That's all on us, not the clock. So yeah, it's right under there, Davey. Yeah, there you go. You're getting it, and we're at 6:26 a.m. All right. So there's a filter on, and you also can get water, filtered water, cold water that comes out of the refrigerator, and there's a filter. And when that filter begins to get clogged up, the water pressure just goes way down.
Oh, that makes sense.
Takes you forever to fill a glass. It's probably not filtering properly. It's making the refrigerator work harder than it should.
Might be adding new things to your water with the stuff that's already in the filter.
Could be denigrating the efficiency, which could denigrate the longevity of the working machinery that pumps the water. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you've obviously read the owner's manual.
The same thing with your body. So when things are not, and you get sick, and you get, whatever it is that you have, the very same thing with your body. So if things aren't flowing properly, if you're not exiting and entering the way you're everything that flows through your body, then you're working harder here, you're working harder there. This isn't as efficient, and that's why you go to have this done at the Falcon Clinic. So I do a monthly adjustment, but this time they did what they call their flu and cold protocol.
Yep.
And it's a whole thing that goes into your sinuses.
Yep.
And he works on your sinuses and some other things in your body to make sure everything flows to the point where they even go into your mouth, and the easiest way, I guess, to reach your a part of your sinuses is the roof of your mouth. So he's in. I'm gagging, but he's and I got to tell you, you come out and you feel like, oh my God, this is starting all over again, because everything is exiting, everything is flowing, and it will make for your first day a little more uncomfortable. But today is where you will reap the benefits, and it really, I think, shortens the cold. It shortens whatever it is that you have.
My husband had that done a few years ago, and he said it felt like he could feel the release.
You feel it.
And he says it feels like a plug being pulled out of a bathtub.
It feels like you can then take that glass and put it up to the water, on your refrigerator, and it fills it quickly because it's working properly.
Yep.
So
that's my analogy, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Yep.
That's an interesting analogy. So when you say he goes in there and he kind of cleans you out or whatever, gets the the fluid to drain. Yeah. We're not putting disinfectant in anything, right? Like we talked about yesterday.
That's not the last thing he did. He injected disinfectant in me, and I feel better. Actually,
no, that's great. Listen, getting the I'm not going to say this right. I don't know if it's the lymph nodes or whatever, but part of the problem is
everything
on
gets
a daily
clogged up.
basis. Yeah, you need to drain properly. And I remember Dr. Why can't I think of his name?
Chmielewski.
Dr. Chmielewski, talking about, he'd just show you how to, just through
massage.
Get the lymphatic massage.
You can, and once they do it,
and ears, and you feel it.
Once they do it, you really can do this at home.
Yeah, you can.
And it does make a difference. Anyway, that along with 5 days of a oral steroid, I'm jacked today and ready to go. So, okay.
No button down.
Cleaned out and ready to rock.
His workout gear on.
Coming up, we'll speak with Ray Stajic, but I also want to talk about coming up, and probably not going to get to the whole thing, but, I am a firm believer of shop local, buy local,
absolutely,
invest in local businesses.
Yep.
But you know what? Sometimes local businesses make it very difficult. And sometimes they suck at customer service. And they'll sit there and they'll complain that you're not doing. I'm sorry, Beth, but I'm just going with what. So they'll sit there and they'll complain that people shop at the big box stores. They do, and you know what? It's not fair. They should invest. They should be loyal and bull crap. I work very hard, as does my wife, for every dollar we make. And if you're not going to service us the way you say you're going to service us, and bend over backwards and just make us feel like you appreciate the fact that we bought local, then we're not going to be doing business with you. I don't care if you don't shop with someone because they're local. You shop with someone because they're local and they give you better service and what you need. And what you need. And I'm going to tell you, I think we're bringing up a generation of punk asses that don't understand customer service, because the way a certain contractor spoke to my wife last night, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth between now and 9 a.m. And I will tell you, we're not doing business with this company, and I probably won't mention the company, but I will tell you that I'm looking for somebody today. It's got to be today, that can actually put sealer on a concrete pad, because it's probably going to be me out there. Do you roll it or do you spray it? What's the best way to do it? I have no idea. I've never done it before, but you got to seal these, like stamped concrete. You got to seal it, and we're in the process of it. But midway through the job, we're looking for somebody else. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it coming up. And let me tell you, this really had nothing to do with me. I was trying to get work done yesterday, and my wife's like, "Give me the number." I go, oh boy. Okay.
Pulled out the mom voice.
Then she said, and I want to talk to Ray Stajic, because we just got back, and so far this weather is not very impressive. And here he is right now, Ray Stajic with the Weather Channel. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. A quick aside: roll it.
Roll it. That's the way to go, huh?
Roll it, you get better coverage. At least in my opinion, spent many years in concrete myself back in the day, and thus now I'm a meteorologist, because that is tough work.
It is tough work. And I got to tell you, the spraying part is because it's around the pool. So the spray, it gets in the water of the pool. Right. The pool will filter it out, but it craps up your filter to the point where you're now going to pull the filter out.
And you have a saltwater pool, so there's a few other layers there.
It's all different. Okay, Ray, but it's going to get hot, right?
Yeah, we're going to increase humidity. Some bad hair days coming up, so sorry to your wife that's going to happen.
I shall live with it,
Yeah, but this morning, how about this? I dug into the nooks and crannies, as I like to do. 49 right now up at High Market, 46. 47 now at Saranac Lake. What a morning. Most of us around town in through Oneida County in the mid-upper 50s, some low 60s out near Syracuse. But the change is going to be higher dew points. Right now they're in the 50s, but we're going to see those dew points go up, and that's going to lead to rain chances going up. And it does look like we'll have the humidity going everybody up. And it looks like it's going to continue as we head on through the rest of the week, and likely even into the upcoming weekend. You know, we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
You know, when you get these big, strong fronts to come in and cold fronts, and it's not quite giving us the nice, cool, dry air that we like to see this time of year.
I got to say, I was watching the local meteorologist last night who said we're going to go from a comfortable dew point and humidity levels to tropical. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's exactly on target. You know, air you can wear, right? You get outside and it kind of just feels like it's on you. And it, you know, we don't want to get too much into it, but it's, you know, microscopic. You can't even see the water vapor in the air. You can kind of feel it, though. It doesn't allow the body to cool, the exposed skin, and that's what it does. It's kind of the opposite of wind chill, where the wind pulls heat away from your exposed skin in the wintertime. So temperatures close to 90 today, some clouds and sunshine, and going to feel a little bit hotter. And then Thursday and Friday, we start to get into the real kind of humid air, upper 80s, probably feeling well into the 90s with showers, thunderstorms. And we'll have some showers, thunder showers right through the beginning of the weekend. I took a little peek ahead, and I was kind of like, hey, you know what? We get into next weekend, highs in the mid to upper 70s and lows in the 50s, especially toward the middle and the end of next week. Maybe Oman Nature's trying to do something here and try to make the change, but I haven't seen it yet, Bill, and I always do this as we get into August and September. I seek, and for the meteorologists out there, I mean, Bill, you're not going to have any clue what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm looking for the 540 thickness, and basically on some of our models, that's the freezing line, and it starts kind of, it's a good guide in the wintertime for the rain-snow line. I always start looking for that like in mid-late August and September up in Canada, and I'm like, all right, where's the 540 line? Where's the 540 line? Once you start seeing that, which we haven't yet, then you know that maybe fall's around the corner. But it is the last month of meteorological meteorological summer, so how about that?
Labor Day becomes the unofficial end to, and I swear the last few years, Ray, it's been like we hit that day on the calendar, and it's like a switch just turns.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy. You know, Memorial Day does the same for summer. It's probably psychological to an extent, right? Yeah. And then, you know, Labor Day gets here. Everyone's like, all right, cover up the pool, everything going away, and get ready for winter time. And, you know, and when we get into the winter and some of the hype we've seen already about that, that's going to be interesting with this.
Well,
for El Nino.
I have to tell you that, first of all, let me bring this up. Rich is a local guy who is an armchair quarterback, if you will, Monday morning or day after whatever storm has been predicted, quarterback. He says, first, you sound terrible. That's me. I've sounded much worse yesterday. Since mid-May till present, with the exception of a couple of days in the 90s, many nights in the low to mid-50s, this might go down as one of the coolest summers ever overall. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's on target in terms of, you know, we've had these kind of hits of hot, humid weather, but it's been tempered by more days where we've seen more seasonable temperatures. So I don't know if everybody knows this officially. Some of the local TV stations may track, you know, specifically Utica, high, low temps, and all that climate time. There's not an official recording station there. So usually I'll ping off Binghamton or Syracuse, but, you know, overall, I believe, at least with that perception, that certainly seems like that.
It does.
That we have these little shots of, like, you know, maybe 90 plus and high humidity, but overall, and even as we get into next week, maybe we end up at or maybe slightly below average. So, that's a good observation, actually.
I will tell you this. Last month, we had some hot weather and some air conditioning requirements for a lot of people. And I cannot believe the National Grid bill that we got last month. It is unbelievable. Worst I've ever had. So
I'm hearing that from my friends and family back at home in the Hudson Valley, saying they're getting hammered. You didn't get AC off.
You never budgeted for this. I will tell you that.
And here's the thing. I think that's the worst part of it, because we talk about the importance of low energy costs. I think we had this discussion yesterday. and I don't want to belabor the point here, but like even with gas prices, they go up, they come down. We have hope. We're paying like what, $4.30 again?
Well, the oil companies are making billions.
Correct.
And look what we're paying for electric and gas.
The hope is that, when things settle down in Iran, the economy gets better, we're back down to $3.50, $3, maybe under $3, that would be great. The problem with this national grid situation or electricity in New York State is this is the new norm. It's not like we have to ride this out until something better happens. Rates got jacked up, and this is like the low bar now.
Don't expect
it's
it
only
to go
going
down.
to go up from here.
I agree.
Right.
And then finally, I got to say, we were on vacation, going through the British Isles.
Nice.
So, and talk about not having to worry about sweaty weather, going into Northern Ireland and Wales and those areas where highs were on average for us like in the upper 50s, low to mid 60s.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, it was crazy. But here's the one thing that's interesting there is you get anywhere from the mid part of that region to the south, London, of course, no rain this summer.
Yep.
They're all complaining about. I mean, it's not like here where everybody debates over global warming. There, they believe it's a thing, and for instance, in London. Every day on the local news, they're talking about we're at 32 days with no rain and temperatures over 30 Celsius or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're going through a tough time over there.
Yeah, they are. They've had all-time record highs over in England, and they haven't had a bunch of rain. They're experiencing that too, and even right here back at home in the Northwest, exceptional amount of wildfire and heat. No changes out there. Before I go, Bill, I did take a little peek back for Syracuse climatology.
Mm-hmm.
For June and July, 1.5 degrees above normal for average temperature. May was 2 degrees below normal, so kind of close. So maybe May through July that all balances out, but nothing really extreme.
In terms of it being really cold.
Right, really warm or really hot. Yeah.
All right, Ray, as always, we do appreciate you. Thank you.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Have a great day. Ray Stajic with the Weather Channel. One thing that of note over there is when, for all the Irish people that are here, and there are a lot of them, Scottish, Irish people, the one thing those countries are known for is lush green fields. They get the rain they need. They have, temperatures that in the summertime that are dealing 70, 73 degrees, nothing crazy. This year, their fields, their lawns, their grass is brown. It's worse than what we have seen here. Brown, no green. It's odd to see, they say. Hold tight. We are on Wednesday morning. Jonathan Savage coming up in a second. The head of FIFA denies that he wants President Trump's help to save his job. It looks like his job is in jeopardy. That whole FIFA thing, whether it's innocent or not innocent, whatever President Trump touches, just by way of the norm, it turns into controversy.
Yeah, FIFA's had
and in some cases, it's not his fault. It's everyone reacting is the fault, I guess.
FIFA's had a long-standing trail of corruption allegations, and I think what we saw with the American player being suspended and then re-allowed back
that didn't look good.
Whether it was the correct call on the field or not,
didn't look good.
It's upset a lot of people.
All right, hold tight. I'm going to ask you with an update here. We're at 6:41.
Bill, talking about the weather, I haven't minded the last couple of days. Low 80s, overnight lows in the mid to upper 50s.
Today's going to be a beauty.
57 right now in mostly cloudy skies. President Donald Trump is now in Las Vegas after speaking at a Republican National Committee event at Trump National Golf Course in California yesterday. His trip came after it was reported that a man had been arrested in L.A. after appearing to be monitoring security and planning activities leading up to the president's arrival. The suspect was reportedly found carrying a loaded weapon and hollow point bullets. A search of his home turned up more guns and more ammo along with body armor. Abdul Al-Sayed is the winner of Michigan's Democrat U.S. Senate primary. NBC News projects the progressive Al-Sayed has defeated establishment-backed Congresswoman Haley Stevens in the closely watched contest. El Sayed will face Republican Mike Rogers, who has the backing of President Trump. The Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee will vote whether to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt on Thursday. The vote comes after the former White House health advisor invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times in a hearing last week about the COVID-19 pandemic. Todd Blanche's nomination to be the next U.S. Attorney General is now moving forward. The Senate Judiciary Committee voting 12-10 along party lines to advance Blanche's nomination. That sets up a final vote in the upper chamber to be held in the coming days. Blanche's nomination had been facing some uncertainty, with Republican Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis holding out over President Trump's anti-weaponization fund. A March 2027 trial date has been set in the antitrust lawsuit challenging Paramount's proposed merger with Warner Brothers Discovery. The date is later than Paramount requested and could prove costly, as the company is set to begin paying Warner Brothers Discovery, the shareholders there, $7 million a day beginning October 1st until the deal closes. A coalition of 12 state attorneys general argue the merger would reduce competition. And Sturgis, South Dakota is getting ready for the start of its famous motorcycle rally. Kickoff events get underway today with the 86th annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally officially running August 7th through the 16th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 6:44.
Good looking morning, seeing a few clouds around. There may be some patchy fog. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Looks good into the afternoon. Maybe an uptick in humidity, a bit close to 90. Tonight, some clouds, upper 60s. North Country, a little bit cooler. Isolated showers and thundershowers are possible tomorrow morning. Better chance of some scattered stuff in the afternoon. 90 showers and thunderstorms on Friday with a high in the upper 80s. The humidity's going to stay with us too, so likely feeling warmer each day. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy and 57 at 6:45.
All right, I want to. I'll get into my little personal matter coming up, but just about shopping local, and it is important to shop local, but it's also important for local to take care of you. You just don't shop local because it's local,
Right.
You don't. You don't go out and get a crappy job, and you're like, well, that's okay because it's local.
Yeah. Or same thing with a meal. I prefer to eat
Absolutely.
local over a chain.
Yeah.
But if you go in there and they're like, I have a couple examples. I won't give
I
them,
do too. I do as well. There's some places we don't go to.
What do you want? And the food's not great. Well, then guess what? Then I am going to the chain next time.
Yeah.
I understand. If we're going to agree, we both sides got to come to an agreement. We're like Trump and Iran here.
This is crazy. I'm
kidding.
All right, let me bring in this whole FIFA thing. Jonathan Savage is with Fox News.
I'm sorry, real quick. Our messages are down. I don't know if we have to put in a complaint on that or you know what it is, a ticket.
So if you're messaging through the app, don't expect a response because they're down. The head of FIFA denies that he wants President Trump's help saving his job. Jonathan Savage on the line right now. This has been, as we said earlier, whether it's fair or not fair, whether it's this is an anti-Trump statement or a pro-Trump statement, whatever President Trump gets involved with, it turns into some sort of controversy. And as I said, it's not always his fault. What's the general thought on this one, Jonathan?
Yeah, the general thought on this one in the world of soccer is that the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, has become too close to the American president. Again, not necessarily President Trump's fault, but people have accused Gianni Infantino of politicizing the game of soccer to an unreasonable extent. Now, Gianni Infantino is a man under pressure. This is as a result of a secretly hatched plan to sell off FIFA's commercial and event operations. In other words, sell off shares in the World Cup. Yeah. For the future. This was seen as highly controversial. He is holding an emergency meeting today because of the criticism he has received over all of that. And it's reported that he called President Trump, or tried to call President Trump, in order to get support from the White House. This came from the New York Post. Now, FIFA has denied any call was made, saying that it's pure fiction, but the fact that people might have thought it had to have the ring of truth about it just tells you how close the FIFA president and the American president have become.
I got to say, I was in a London newsroom last week when this story was breaking, and to show you how big this is over there. It was like breaking news. They were searching for details coming out. And of course, the biggest sport in the world, enormously huge over in Europe. I mean, this is a big story. People are not happy with where this is going, and certainly not happy with any plans to sell this whole thing off.
The World Cup is seen in many countries as a global treasure, something that belongs to everybody, something that is the world's event, the world's game. And the idea that the World Cup could be put inside a private company and 20% of that company is sold off to private investors, one of which would be Jared Kushner's brother, Joshua Kushner, so again, close to the Trump administration orbit. That was something which outraged an awful lot of people. Some people said, okay, this could raise money for grassroots, for smaller countries and soccer around the world. Critics said they were mortgaging future World Cups and putting at risk the very essence of the game to commercial interests.
Very interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. It does seem like the idea of selling this off is kind of dead right now. Do you agree?
It is. The proposal has collapsed. However, Gianni Infantino is still fighting for his future here. He's hosting an emergency meeting in Africa because the criticisms not just come from individual nations, like England, for example, has withdrawn their support for him. The entire UEFA Federation, that's the European Soccer Federation, say they have lost confidence in Gianni Infantino. And even within FIFA, the second most powerful person, the Secretary General, Matthias Grafström, has written a very critical memo to staff saying that it's been a sad and reproachable series of events.
I got to say it's a shame because it seemed like this year's World Cup, at least here in the United States, was such a huge success. But there were all these little controversial stories, including the reversal of the situation with the U.S. It kind of tainted it because it was a great event, at least from our perspective.
Yeah, World Cups always have off-field controversy. That's the nature of sport. On the field, hard to mess it up, and certainly it was a great success on the field, and American cities, for the most part, did incredibly well and came out incredibly well out of this.
Yeah,
but the way that FIFA handled it and their interaction, their integration with the U.S. government, and things like immigration, visa issues, Iran's participation, all this stuff was controversial for a lot of fans.
Yeah. Jonathan Savage, as always, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll get into some local stuff, some comments that are already in. Hold on. We'll get to it. As YouTube is abuzz here this morning at WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Something old is new in the village of New Hartford. Introducing Handshake Antiques, now open at 66 Genesee Street, next to Giorgio's Village Cafe. Not your grandma's antique shop. Think clean, curated, and cool. From high-end furniture, vintage fashion, vinyl records, to oddities and all things eclectic. And we're always buying, so look in your attic or basement. And if it's old, call Handshake Antiques. Plus, inventory changes weekly, so every visit is a new find. Handshake Antiques, where it never went out of style.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's Industry Ace. Our Industry Aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
At River Hills Properties, they call it white glove treatment. Service that's not normally provided to customers looking to buy or sell a home here in upstate New York. This is Bill Keeler. My wife and I had River Hills sell our home, and it sold in under a week, but it was more than that. It was all of the things they did to relieve the stress, to serve as a team member for us, and basically get the job done and make it easier for a buyer to come in and understand. That's where the book comes in. It's like a manual for the home. They create all of that. No lockbox. Your listing agent, and for us it was Robin Monjo, your listing agent there every time the house is shown. That's River Hills Properties. And now they have a full-service office in Sarasota, Florida. Think Snowbird. Think River Hills Properties, located in Barneville, Little Falls, in Newport and Rome, and now in Sarasota, Florida. 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khatak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Apply for an auto loan from AmeriQ and enjoy the ride with no payments for 90 days. Limited time offer. Get started at AmeriQ.org.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
From now on, talk to Manansky.
I don't know how I got dragged into this.
You weren't paying attention.
Well, I wasn't even here.
Trying to avoid it. That's why.
I came back to controversy. And it's nice to be not a part of controversy. It's nice to be able to say, I wasn't here, you work this out. Okay.
You never heard that rule that whoever's job it's going to be is whoever's not in the room?
I like
when
that.
The decision needs to be
that's
made?
Probably true.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll talk to Bill when he gets back. All right, I'm going to ask you some quick comments.
Yes.
And by the way, on the local business, let me just say this, which I was talking about earlier, and I do think sometimes you need to understand public service and customer service, is what I mean. It is extremely important. And, I just did a commercial for New York Sash. Why does New York Sash do as well as they do? They work with their customers.
They respect the customer.
If there's a problem, they are apologetic. They are. The one thing you don't want to hear that my wife heard last night was, yeah, I'm listening. All right. Well, clearly you're speaking to somebody who's not happy. And then, listen, I've been working for 12 hours. I don't need to deal with this. So far, it's not going the right way, right?
That's what they said?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and believe me, not with my wife. Jeez.
Yeah, Bill tried that one before.
I tried it. I don't know if you know, but my couch ain't comfortable when it comes to sleeping. So anyway, just take care of people. And by the way, it was a promise that was made during the quote by someone representing them that he came back and said, no, we don't do that. Well, your person said you would, but we don't do that. And then started showing us analogies as to why they don't do it, which one of them was, if a painter comes to your house, do you expect him to, or her, take the paintings off your wall? Well, by the way, there are some who do. And my wife's answer was, yes, if they tell us that's what they're going to do. Sorry. You should start out, that conversation should have started out with, I am so sorry you're not happy.
What can I do?
Whatever. So we're looking for somebody else.
So Deed says this morning, that's what I've always said. If you're a local business, earn my business. There are too many local businesses that act entitled to your business.
Yeah, I'm local. You should shop with me. Bull crap. And I know one of them, another one of those. I was actually sitting, waiting to go into a restaurant. We were sitting at the bar, and the guy's like, oh, you really do. You support local. Yeah, right. Well, my answer should have been, and I didn't want to get into it, was, yeah, I do support local, but not you.
Oh, 10 seconds. I'm going to bite my lip here. World Cup is done. Let's move on, says Ja Wick. He also says that goes to Lance. Lance can't send messages in, so maybe I'll come to YouTube.
All right, hold Lance. Go to YouTube. Quick break news.
News. From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
They're still counting the votes in Michigan. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. In a very close Senate primary,
we knew that this was going to be a close race.
And Democratic Congresswoman Haley Stevens is right now trailing Progressive Abdul El-Sayed by about 1 percentage point. He's backed by socialists.
We have a responsibility to assure that we unite to make sure that Mike Rogers never sees the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Rogers is the Republican running for that seat, now held by a retiring Democrat. And 2 progressives have done well in Michigan House races.
Donovan McKinney, who's backed by the Democratic Socialists of America, is leading incumbent Sri Thanadar by about 3 percentage points in the Democratic primary for the 13th congressional district. The race has split Democrats. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries backs Thanadar as progressives support McKinney. Sunrise Movement co-founder William Lawrence clinched the Democratic nomination for the state's 7th congressional district. Lawrence beat 2 establishment Democrats.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. Progressive lost to Missouri. Ex-Congresswoman Cori Bush failed in her attempt to win back a House seat, losing to incumbent Wesley Belmont more than 20 points. Voters in Missouri also said no to a ballot question to phase out the state income tax. A Republican Congressman, Chuck Edwards, has just announced early this morning in a post on X he's ending his re-election campaign in North Carolina, after the House Ethics Committee had recommended Edwards be censured over sexual harassment allegations. The talks continue with Iran, trying to get oil and other shipping flowing again through the Strait of Hormuz. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
President Trump indicated that a deal with Iran could happen as early as today. Speaking with Fox News, the president said that talks took place all day on Tuesday and that things are looking very good. He told Trace Gallagher what will happen if the Iranians back out of this agreement.
Well, if they back out again, they're going to get hit really hard. They know that. They understand that.
America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most. Does it work
and can you trust it? Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Chris has spent years doing physical work, leaving his feet sore at the end of the day. After starting Relief Factor, he felt so good he did something he'd never done before. He ran a half marathon. Now he tells all his friends about Relief Factor. I've got back issues. I've been taking Relief Factor every single morning for years. Without it, the back problems come back. They make it easy to find if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor gave you your life back. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be soon sharing your story with us too. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is a full Senate vote away from becoming an AG full-time after the Judiciary Committee approved Blanche's nomination over the objections of Democrats, including Senator Sheldon Whitehouse.
Probably the most discreditable person ever to seek the office of Attorney General of the United States.
Fox's David Spunt reports.
All 12 Senate Judiciary Republicans came through to advance Blanche's nomination out of committee, including Senators John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, who originally protested over the controversial anti-weaponization fund. The now canceled fund would have used nearly $1.8 billion in taxpayer money to compensate people who believe they are victims of government weaponization.
And Republican Senator Susan Collins, who's in a re-election campaign in Maine, says she will vote against Blanche's confirmation. It would take 2 more GOP senators joining her to reject the nomination. Another Republican senator, Bernie Moreno, says in a family feud with a Republican congressman who insists he's still running for re-election amid abuse allegations.
Ohio Rep. Republican Max Miller posting on X that he's filed paperwork for the House Ethics Committee to formally investigate him amid calls for Miller, who's up for re-election, to step down over domestic violence and abuse allegations by his ex-wife, Emily Moreno, the daughter of Ohio Republican Senator Bernie Moreno, who on Monday called Miller unfit for office. The allegations in a bitter divorce and child custody battle that Miller's denied. The Ethics Committee also noting that the fact that it's investigating the allegations doesn't indicate that any violation has occurred. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are rising the day after a huge surge put the Dow and the S&P 500 at record highs, though NASDAQ futures are down slightly. In baseball, the Red Sox crushed the White Sox 14-2. It's Boston's 6th straight win. Weeks after the Red Sox won 15 in a row. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Cloudy skies, now 59 degrees. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. This news update is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A mutual separation between the Utica School Board and the superintendent, Dr. Christopher Spence. A statement released by the district on Tuesday says Spence's time as the superintendent of Utica schools will come to an end effective September 4th. Spence had been under contract through next year, but requested a leave of absence earlier this school year. He also filed a complaint with the New York State Division of Human Rights alleging discrimination and retaliation. The agreement between the two, quote, resolves all outstanding employment-related matters and legal proceedings between the two parties. According to that statement, Dr. Kathleen Davis will continue to serve as acting superintendent through September 4th, then take over as interim superintendent for the 2026-2027 school year. Rome's mayor calling for demolition of the former Staley School on East Bloomfield Street in Rome. This after a fire at the school on Monday night, leading to a large response from Rome Fire. Mayor Jeff Lanigan says it's become an abandoned property, attracting vandalism, trespassing, fires, and other illegal activity, requiring attention from emergency services. District officials say FEMA cannot, according to FEMA, they cannot use grant funding to demolish the school, which has been closed since suffering serious water damage from Superstorm Fred back in 2021. Lanigan is hoping the district and FEMA can work out an agreement to allow federal dollars to cover the demolition expense. An 18-year-old has been charged after allegedly breaking into the Holland Patton High School and stealing property. The name and photo of the teenager is not being released because of his age. The sheriff's office reported that a deputy was called to the school on July 28th after a burglary complaint. This week, investigators found the teen in his home and arrested him. He's charged with burglary and petty larceny. A sad update to a story that claimed 6 lives earlier this summer. Police in Mechanicsville say Sarah Myers and her grandmother, Amy Stedman, plotted together to kill her 4 children before they killed themselves. Investigators say based on text messages between Myers and Stedman, they determined that 13-year-old Harper Harmon, 11-year-old Hudson Harmon, 10-year-old Gavin Harmon, and 10-year-old Gracelyn Harmon were all given various medications prior to their deaths. Police also say Gavin was stabbed multiple times. The family was found dead in Stedman's apartment. On June 23rd, investigators say a note signed by Stedman justified the killings by saying they were protecting the children from abuse by their father, Brady Harmon, who lives in Utah. There were also writings left by Sarah Myers where she referred to her children as her babies. Those writings also detailed Myers' contempt for the Utah family court system. The defense team for a school bus driver in Oswego accused of driving under the influence with students on board is being given additional time to review the evidence. During a hearing for 39-year-old Bradley Wygant yesterday, his defense attorneys requested additional time to review the results of blood tests. Previously, the prosecution presented the results which showed what substances were in Wygant's system at the time of the alleged crime. Wygant is charged with multiple counts, including aggravated driving while intoxicated and endangering the welfare of a child. The judge granted the request and scheduled the next hearing in the case for September 10th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:09. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Good-looking morning, seeing a few clouds around. There may be some patchy fog. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Looks good into the afternoon. Maybe an uptick in humidity, a bit close to 90. Tonight, some clouds, upper 60s. North Country, a little bit cooler. Isolated showers and thundershowers are possible tomorrow morning. Better chance of some scattered stuff in the afternoon. 90 showers and thunderstorms on Friday with a high in the upper 80s. The humidity's going to stay with us, too, so likely feeling warmer each day. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 59 degrees, mostly cloudy skies at 7:10. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Yankees win, Mets win, Red Sox win again. The Yankees shut out the Cardinals 2-0. Jazz Chisholm and George Lombard Jr. each went deep with solo home runs to get the Yankees a win. The Mets took the opener against the Guardians 6-2. Luis Torrens, 3 for 3 with a 3-run homer and 4 RBIs. The Mets snap a 3-game losing streak. They continue the set tonight in Cleveland. And the Red Sox rolled past the White Sox 14-2. Boston has won 6 straight. They continue that 3-game series tonight. Some football news. Tempers flaring at Giants training camp after quarterback Jackson Dart celebrated a rushing touchdown by tossing the ball off the helmet of cornerback Greg Newsome. That prompted several defensive players to confront Dart as he walked back to the huddle. Head coach John Harbaugh was not pleased. He threw a flag. I don't know if he actually threw the flag, but he assessed a 15-yard penalty during the practice before the extra point attempt was made by kicker Ben Sauls. More NFL news. Green Bay's Micah Parsons says he's optimistic he can return to the field before Week 6 when the Packers play the Cowboys at Lambeau Field. He's still recovering from a torn ACL that he sustained in Week 15 last season. Some bad news for some NFL teams. The Cowboys dealing with their first significant injury of training camp. Tight end Princeton Fant is headed to season-ending surgery. He tore his ACL during practice yesterday. Guess what? The Falcons dealing with a major injury as Jalen Walker is believed to have suffered a torn ACL during practice on Tuesday. The Chargers holding their breath as offensive tackle Rashawn Slater left training camp after getting hurt in 11-on-11 drills. Slater missed all of last season because of a torn patellar tendon suffered during a preseason workout. And Falcons running back Bijan Robinson is back at practice after he signed a new contract. The 24-year-old gets a $75 million deal over the next 3 seasons. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time 7:12, a Wednesday morning. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will handle it for you. We handle residential or any size commercial property, before and after estate sale cleanouts or any junk removal service. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation is a 5-star rated and background checked business, providing service you can count on, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's about how you feel when you walk through the doors and when you leave. That's Steep Pawnee Mazda on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. It's the Ricky Z way, right? It's the Steep Pawnee way. But beyond that, it's every single employee. They treat you with the respect, and they understand you're in there for a new vehicle or you're in there for service. It's all about the treatment. This is Bill Keeler. And right now at Steep Pawnee Mazda, save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 with 1.9% on CX-50 hybrids, 0.9% on the new 2026 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90, and 0% on PHEV models. See the dealership for details. As Rick says, come on in, let's look at the deals. Let's take care of you. How about 2.9% on a new 2026 Mazda CX-30 or CX-5? Where it's always easy to do business, Steep Pawnee Mazda.
If you've missed the Kim Commando Show, you've missed a lot.
You know, I just love taking your phone calls.
I want to start by thanking you for what you have given us on this planet. You have made technology digestible.
You're like my friend in IT.
Oh. Only one person that I would like to ask this digital question.
America's digital goddess. Kim Commando.
Saturday mornings at 10 on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Manaski has some comments here this morning. What are you going with? And by the way, our app comments are down, and they're working on it, so I'm told. But on YouTube, it's alive and well.
Jawick says La Cosa Nostra YouTube style. Deeds is our godfather. Let's see here. Comments. This is Ja Wick. Comments never get read between Bill cutting Jeff off in the news.
Hold on a second. And I got oh, this is in the news.
Jeff starts in the middle of them, hence why I don't know why what these comments are in reference to. So Ja Wick says, Deeds Capone, Nick Luciano, Ann Gambino, and Ja Gotti. Look, guys, here's the best part about the YouTube conversation in the feed. Because there's a line here that says it's Bill's show, but sometimes comments need to be heard or shared. I've lost the comment here. Here's the best part, though, guys. It's a live stream chat. So anybody who wants to know what you guys say or don't know what you want to say, it's right there. You know what I mean? It's not like the messages that come directly in via the app, which is down this morning. If I don't read them, you don't see them. But if when we do it on YouTube, everybody sees them.
That is true. Even those who aren't commenting.
Correct.
I'm having a moment. Keep going.
So keep going, John. You can keep commenting. And when appropriate, I think I'll read your comments. I think I've been better about this. You guys criticized. I reassessed. And I think I've been better about it. I've made some improvements, and a lot more of your comments get onto the actual show. So
okay,
put that in your coffee and drink it.
You ended right on the music, too.
Well, I've been doing this for a while.
I'm going to try to bring... I made some tea.
Oh, boy. You sound like you're getting much better, Bill.
There's something in like a tickle in my throat.
What do you got there? Is it the vinegar again? The apple cider, the honey, and the tea?
Vinegar, apple cider...
Vinegar?
Water. And honey.
Okay.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I got to get on the honey. I got to get on the honey train. I can't remember. I apologize. There was a gentleman who I was making my own sauce. There's a particular sauce I like when I do my wings, and the store. Not even going to plug them. It's because it's not local, but I would buy this particular sauce, and they don't sell it anymore, so I got to make it myself. And part of the ingredient is a little bit of honey, like a tablespoon of honey. And remember he used to bring us the peanut butter cup with the marshmallows? I forget what they're called. The
Nora's Candy.
No. He would come in. He'd bring
Moon
his daughter to
pies.
the Christmas Eve show.
Yeah.
And they would always bring us the Mallow cups.
Mellow
cups. And then he would...
Mellow.
He would bring us, he brought a huge jar of honey. I mean, huge.
Yeah.
I've been
honey.
I've been going off of it for 7 years now, and I'm almost out of it, so I got to get some more local honey. Yeah.
They say with local honey, and I don't know if it's true, the honeys are on, they pollinate, they take what it is. I mean, Beth, you can talk about this.
Yep.
The local flowers,
off the local
local allergens, that it's probably better to eat local honey than it is anything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, they can't go so far as to say it's medicinal, but it's better for you. And, I just might know a few people I can get some good honey from.
That's true.
You, so.
They say don't give it to... Hold on. Here we go. They say don't give it to babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because their immune systems aren't strong enough for older.
The litigants are entering the courtroom. I'm Doug Llewellyn. This is the People's Court with your host, Jeremy Rosenthal. Hello, Jeremy Rosenthal, and welcome to the People's Court.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Fun fact, my mother and father actually appeared.
Wow. That's awesome.
Is that what inspired you?
Actually, I mean, yes and no. Everything with my parents was a nuclear war, so that kind of gave me a sense of
so you mean they were on one side or the other and the other?
No. They were on the same
Unified.
side. Yeah,
okay.
they were
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. What was the scenario? What were they suing over or being sued over?
They sued a landscaper who I think kind of bolted. That's what it was about. Yep. And Judge Wapner was there. It took a lot longer, actually, than 30 minutes. That's what I took from it.
I should add on the local landscape contractor. When it ended with we just had a situation, Jeremy. When it ended with my wife last night, he's like, you know what? I've been working for 12 hours. I don't need this. The work I've already done up to this point, I'm not going to charge you for it.
This is the owner or a worker?
This is the owner, which was $500. It was a big job, and so forget about that. Everything's canceled, and my wife is like, wonderful. good night, and that's how it ended.
Wow.
So we didn't.
Wow.
So we had our own little people's court in our own home last night, and you'll never guess who I played. Doug Llewellyn. That was me.
Rusty the bailiff. No,
believe me, I wish Rusty was tough. He was good. I liked Rusty.
Yeah. You didn't cross Rusty. No.
No. All right, go ahead.
I was just going to, real quick, it was not the People's Court, but, since the People's Court, and it was so famous, and it wasn't Judge Judy, but it was one of these that had popped up, a television show where you would go in and the two sides, and they'd settle it with the judge. I just saw an interview, and I don't know if this is true, but the guy was claiming... He goes, if you'd watched the show before and I looked familiar, he goes, me and my buddies were actually on there several times and they didn't pick up on it. He goes, because when you would appear on the show, they would take your complaint as legit, but either way, they would pay you for your appearance. Yeah. He goes, so we would concoct scenarios. One guy would be a DJ and we would say we hired him for the graduation party and he promised this and this didn't happen. So they would come up with different scenarios to create a dispute. One friend would take one side, the other guy take the other side, and they both walk away in the positive.
Well, because whatever settlement that was awarded,
they would disagree but they got the
show
cash.
paid for it. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's next. You know what? Those are next level BS artists.
Oh yeah.
You got to take your hat off to those guys.
Yep. Kudos all the way. Okay. Before we get into Fauci, which I do want to get into. I did want to ask you, did you see the Tony Romo video?
I did.
Oh, did you feel for him? I felt like, what are you doing, man? This is so terrible. And I hate him, just for the record, as a Bills fan. So, but you're down there. You're there. You're in Texas.
Yeah. I like Tony Romo. I think he's a good guy. You're always hoping that some more evidence comes to light that kind of limits his, culpability. From a lawyer's standpoint, he's nice, he's polite, he does everything you would want a client to do in this scenario, other than maybe be drunk.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, the lawyer in me is a little offended that they released the video. I don't get DWI videos a week after they happen.
Right.
So I think that's probably the police agency. I don't know if they're trying to embarrass him, but they're certainly trying to justify what they did, and really at Tony Romo's expense.
And let's be honest, you don't think the Packers like the Cowboys, do you? So I feel like the fact that this happened in Wisconsin, had it happened in Texas, we might not even know about it.
Tony, give me an autograph. I'll give you a ride home.
Well, yeah, he's from there. Though, so that's
right.
That's you know.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's from his his college career, I think, was played there. So no, it was not. Where was it?
Eastern Illinois.
Illinois.
Well, all in that region, basically.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to ask. This is Steve Cully, best podcast host in the universe. The difference between.
Well, what are you asking? Is it about Romo? Yes. All right, very quickly, because we're moving on to another topic.
There's been a lot talked about Tony Romo and his contract with CBS. Does he have a threat of being released or terminated with CBS because of this incident?
Probably. I haven't read much about that, but most of the vast majority of these contracts have
the morals
morals clause on there. I mean, if there was evidence that Tony Romo was on Epstein Island, they're not keeping him.
Right.
And maybe they're, I think probably they're going to want to look into this, maybe save face a little bit and say, okay, well, Tony had a problem with alcohol and he's addressed that, and
he's gone to therapy, blah blah. And by the way, CBS will not be able to resist the high ratings they get. And you watch, he's not coming back on a 1:00 Sunday afternoon game. You're going to see him on Sunday night, and it's going to be the return, and he's going to make a statement, and it'll be big ratings. People will watch it.
The other thing...
There you go. See, You've got it figured out.
I do. It's all in my head. I've got it right here.
The other thing, Jeremy, just real quick on this, I know we're moving on. The idea that if he just says, I have a problem, I think creates a separate issue, at least as far as his reputation goes. Because, if he was out having a good time or if he was at a golf tournament, whatever the case might be, I was in a golf tournament recently. Matter of fact, Davey and I had a couple beers while I was there. The issue is you can't, if he says I have a problem, and I'm going to get treatment, that means he can't socially drink anymore. Because if anybody sees him with a drink, a champagne, or whatever, after that, they go, what's the problem here? The issue is drinking and driving. He has to be careful not to say...
I wonder if he says, instead of a problem, I made a very terrible mistake.
Yeah, okay.
Jeremy?
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's a great point. Okay, so one of the headwinds that I face as a lawyer who represents people who get DWIs is that judges and prosecutors go to conferences, and at those conferences they say statistics such as, if you get arrested for DWI, you've gotten away with it 111 times before, And so, therefore, everybody who gets a DWI is an alcoholic, which I know is not true because I've had people who've gotten DWIs on their, 18th birthday, which this was my first time, Jeremy, and I couldn't handle it. Okay, well, you didn't do, so that's the problem, is that whether Tony Romo is an alcoholic or he is perceived as an alcoholic, the issue is alcoholism, not just a one-time mistake. And I'll tell you this, a DWI is not just a couple of drinks, okay?
Right.
To get to a 0.08 for a 180-pound male is roughly 4 beers in an hour or less, okay? Because your blood alcohol level goes up with every beer that you have or every standard drink that you have, and it comes down after the passage of time. So the idea that 2 beers is going to get you there is simply erroneous.
Yeah.
He
drank all day long.
Yeah, that's right. So if you're over the limit, you've been at it for a while.
Yeah. And I also wonder, at what point do we get to, like, if you're a drug addict, they say, well, he was under the influence of drugs. We're going to consider that. It's a disease. It is, but alcohol we treat differently. It's like, you should have known better in the beginning. Yeah, but I had a couple of drinks, the third one, the fourth one. After that, I wasn't thinking straight. So I would never do something like this had I not been under the influence of heroin. I mean, what's the difference between that and alcohol? And will we ever make that leap where it's looked at differently?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I will say this. If it wasn't for people there will always be people who you have to fight to get their keys away from them.
Yep.
And thank God for that, because I got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah, that's great. At the end of the day, have a plan, because if you have too many drinks, you will not be able to come up with a good plan.
Just that, the only point I was going to add is that, again, with heroin, that's a deadly controlled substance. Alcohol is legal. You can socially do it. You know what I mean? So it's like, the mistake he made, or the thing that he did wrong, wasn't that he went out and had a good time or got plastered, or that he had that glow on his face.
Yeah.
It's that he did that and then got behind the wheel.
All right, we have taken up all of your time on this, but I really want to talk about Fauci and your take on the fact that he basically used his constitutional right to not say anything, and I necessarily personally don't blame him, because this Justice Department is out for blood.
Well, yeah, and Rand Paul already said, I'm going to investigate you for perjury based on everything you've ever said before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was your first clue that they were out to get you, right?
Right.
So, yeah, look, we're going to see a lot of flash, a lot of bang. The subcommittee will probably hold him in contempt. The full Senate may very well hold in contempt unless somebody like John Cornyn flips or something like that. The Justice Department would have to pick it up. But ultimately, at the end of the case, that's the problem, that if you're prosecuting him, that's the problem that you have, is the man was invoking a constitutional right. And whether you like it, whether you don't like it, whether you think it's thin, whether you think that it's not, I have a hard time thinking that you're in contempt by invoking a constitutional right.
Yeah.
He was pardoned, so there was some question as to, look, you've already been pardoned. You can't, I think the quote was, you can't stand on this right now because you've already been pardoned for this. What's your take on that?
True. However, while he would have immunity, if he said something to the effect of, my last year before I got my pardon, I knifed a guy in the parking lot, right? In a federal facility, because it would have to be federal. If he said something like that, he would be immune from that action. He would not be immune, potentially, from perjury. And I think that's what he and his lawyers would tell you are, that look, I mean, it's not that I'm afraid of something I did before. I'm afraid that you're going to prosecute me for perjury, anything that comes out of my mouth. Because you don't have to be innocent. You have to be guilty to be prosecuted, right? So go ahead.
Here's the thing that I hate about this, and it's Democrats and Republicans. The goal is not to get to the bottom of where this actually came from. And we'll never probably know. We'll never probably know because China is not going to release the information we would need to know. So the goal is to score political points on both sides in these congressional hearings. If they really wanted to get to the bottom of at least what he knew, they'd say, come in and testify with immunity.
Yep. But we want all the true answers.
Yep, we want true answers, but that's not what Congress is looking for. They're, especially in the case right now, Republicans are facing an uphill climb in the midterms, and they're trying to score points.
Yes. And to your point, to stand up for Rand Paul here for a second, I don't think Congress has the ability to give him immunity either for what he says now. But yes, you're exactly right. This is I mean, look, if I was going to release a deadly virus to our biggest international enemy, I would hope that what they would do is not come after me and instead use it to go after each other. That would be okay with me.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good point.
Till the last one drops.
Jeremy, one more on the contempt of Congress. Like I've heard, if someone's held in contempt of court, it's 30 days in the county jail or something like that. What does contempt of Congress actually mean?
It's a federal offense, and you can go to federal prison for it. Steve Bannon went to federal prison before he was pardoned by Trump on it. So to kind of to draw a contrast, there was a lot of debate about whether the Clintons were going to be held in contempt of Congress because they were subpoenaed, and they made a decision not to come and testify. They ultimately made a deal with the committee, and so they showed up and answered questions. But that's the difference, right? Not showing up versus showing up and sitting there and politely invoking your constitutional right. I think that's a pretty stark contrast, right? But yeah, it's contempt is when you tell the judge to go somewhere, to strip something where son can't really get to. That's contempt. So again, there's going to be a lot of flash, a lot of bang. Legally, it'll be interesting to me. My lawyer nerd kind of thinks it'll be interesting. But ultimately, I'd be really, really shocked if this actually got enough traction to actually make it, part way through the courts.
At the end of the day, too, a lot of people have used the fifth on the right and on the left. That'll make it even more difficult. So, yeah. All right, there we go, Jeremy. We appreciate it and have what I love, though, is we're sitting here arguing over COVID when we could be arguing over the war. We could be arguing over affordability.
Epstein.
Made up by Democrats, by the way. We could be arguing over Epstein, but no, we're fighting a fight that's going nowhere over COVID. Are you kidding me? I mean,
do the Cowboys have the Bills this year? I haven't looked.
I'm checking.
We haven't played you guys in a minute, so
Davey says no. Davey says no.
No, but it could happen. And what I would like to see, yes,
in the Super Bowl.
Oh yes, I'd like to see a little revenge for that game when Michael Jackson came out and in California and did the halftime show, and the Bills got pummeled. We need revenge.
Yeah. I thought you wanted revenge for when Brett Hull's skate was in the crease. That too.
It never ends. It's stuck deep. If you're a Bills fan, going to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and losing all 4 of them, it'll never leave you. Jeremy, as always, we appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll do it again soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
All right. Doug Llewellyn comes back in. Quick break. Manaski does news. I have an amazing, and the keyword here is amazing. Or should I say amazing? Uh-oh. Amazing question coming up for you. And it's worth how much today, Davey? What are you going to give to this one? What kind of value will you put on this Micah free money question of the day?
$2.25.
$2.25. Manansky has news coming up. No, he doesn't. Remove the news because we're late.
Okay.
Free money question right now. Let's take caller number 11. What's wrong? You don't like 11?
Yeah, I have to do it quick because I got to do that thing for me.
Caller 11 right now at 315-736-0186. $2.25 from Hobica's free money question is next.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khattak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks. In America, there's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
The burrito is fire.
Hi, this is Maya.
And I'm Antonio. And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A hash brown scrambled burrito
is that it fuels our morning.
It's the full package.
You have the chicken, you have the eggs, and then you add these hash browns for a nice little crunch.
The chicken's always nice. It's crispy, it's juicy. And the cheeses, they melt together in a beautiful way.
And it gives me energy. It's perfect.
Order the Chick-fil-A hash brown scramble burrito and Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Did you know your most treasured rugs can look new again? At ABC ChemDry, we specialize in premium area rug cleaning. From treasured family heirlooms to fine rugs from around the world, our trained specialists use a careful 5-step process inspecting, dusting, cleaning, drying, grooming, and protecting, so your rug always gets the expert care it deserves. Don't wait. Call ABC ChemDry today at 315-738-1111 to schedule a drop-off or pickup.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is now accepting new patients. This is Bill Keeler. It is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. And right now, the Falcon Clinic is accepting new patients. Since adding some new physicians, a new physician's assistant, including Dr. Cheryl Mattern, they are now accepting new patients. Just call 315-507-4751. And yes, it is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, which means they do more. They look deeper, and your appointments are not in and out on your way. You're going to be with the doctor as long as you need to be with the doctor. And if your appointment is at 2 o'clock, you're in shortly thereafter. You're not going to sit around for an hour and a half. That's big. It's the Falcon Clinic. Dr. Kosminski, Dr. Mattern, Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, all under one roof. The Falcon Clinic. Call 315-507-4751.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
On BritBox, your next hidden gem is right around the corner.
If you're going to be bold, here is the place to do it.
Get ready for Britain's most anticipated series, streaming exclusively on BritBox. Catch new seasons of favourites, including Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
You want someone to get murdered?
And the eagerly awaited new adaptation of Agatha Christie's iconic detective duo, Tommy and Tuppence.
Do you think we're actually really good at this?
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch with a free trial.
Good looking morning, seeing a few clouds around. There may be some patchy fog. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Looks good into the afternoon. Maybe an uptick in humidity, a bit close to 90. Tonight, some clouds, upper 60s. North Country, a little bit cooler. Isolated showers and thundershowers are possible tomorrow morning. Better chance of some scattered stuff in the afternoon. 90 showers and thunderstorms on Friday with a high in the upper 80s. The humidity's going to stay with us too, so likely feeling warmer each day. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Alrighty now. All right, so
we're going to have an intervention here this morning after we talk to John Mannion.
You're going to need it. I'm going to tell you. I hope we have some time to get into it this morning. All right, it's time for Albica's free money question of the day. And I just want to tell you that I am a believer in this. I'll say something to my wife and be like, all right, we're going to a show. There's an option for VIP parking. It's like $60, but you're going to park right near the show, as opposed to we're not going to find a spot anywhere. And she will say to me, they got to be sold out. It's 3 days before the show. They got to be sold out.
Right.
And I'm like, well, do you know they're sold out? No, but they got to be sold out. I am, and you know this to be me, because I'm constantly, Davey and I talk about this. They're not coming on. I'm like, do we know they're not coming on? You won't know unless you ask. Let's ask them.
Right.
And I am the believer that there's a chance. If there's a chance, you're not dead, which is why I am a New York Mets fan. So, unfortunately, in most cases, I get let down pretty badly.
This after earlier this week, I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday, Bill finally came to the public conclusion that, look, it's probably over for the Mets. They don't have a chance. I have news for you. During the break, he goes, how many games back in the wild card are we? I go, well, they're 20 and a half out of the division. Looks like they're 12 back in the wild card. And he goes, you know what? There's 48 games left. 12 games. It's doable.
I'm just saying.
We just concluded this. I thought
so too, but then they played really well yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
and I can't wait for this Mexican kid to come up. I hope Trump allows it. And
I saw him play in Syracuse.
I think he's here, right? He's here illegally. We're going to be okay.
Yeah.
He celebrates after every strikeout. Like, when I tell you celebrate, he does like an NFL celebration after a touchdown. And he says, he's just been called up, he says, I will continue that tradition of celebrating at Citi Field. I cannot wait. He'll probably give up a home run before he gets his first strikeout, but I can't wait for it. I'm excited. Hello, Bill in Stidville.
Hi, Bill.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
Good, all right. Are you a baseball fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. I think you're going to win. Well, how much is it, Davey? $225? All right, from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica. For your legal needs, 315-724-1600. Bill in Stittville, this is your question. Mathematically, Jeff, you're going to love this. Mathematically, the New York Mets are 12 games out of the wild card playoff spot as of today. What National League team went on a tear in 2011 when on August 24th, they were 15 and a half games out of the wild card spot. They won 22 of their last 32 games to overtake the Atlanta Braves on the final day of the regular season to clinch the wild card spot, make a comeback even more spectacular. They went on to win the World Series by defeating Texas 4-3. What team, Bill, accomplished this amazing feat? Ready, go.
Washington Nationals.
Is it the Washington Nationals?
It's the Phillies.
It is not the Phillies. The St. Louis Cardinals came back. They have the greatest modern-day comeback in wild card history. Remember, a lot has changed over the years.
Yeah.
But they came back from 15 and a half games out of the wild card spot with just 32 games left.
They had John Lackey and Adam Wainwright on their staff.
And they won it all.
Yep.
They won it all.
That's right. Yeah, that was the year, by the way, Carlos Beltran took the strike three looking.
2011. So there you go. It's not over till it's over. Bill, we're going to give you but it's probably over. We're going to give you, we have Herkimer County Fair tickets, August 18th through the 23rd in Frankfurt at the fairgrounds. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Bill.
Beltran struck out looking against Wainwright was 2006, not 2011.
Okay. On the line right now is Congressman John Mannion, another big Mets fan. I don't know. Are you a Mets fan?
Well, no, I'm a Luke Weaver fan because I'm a Pirates fan, Keeler, and we just picked up one of your closers.
Yeah, I got to tell you, what I said on Monday was we should not get rid of Luke Weaver, and they did. And he's playing at the top of his game right now.
Yeah, amazing ERA, and the Pirates. It's always fun for me as a Pirates fan that I'm in the month of August and I still have to look at the box scores, so that's a good thing. It's a rare thing right now. I think we're one game under 500. The bullpen's been atrocious, so at least we got a little help there at the trade deadline, and hopefully we're in enough competitive games where Luke Weaver can do something for us.
Okay, and as you just heard, I'm still hanging in there.
Yeah.
Still believing. Still thinking it could be an amazing year.
That's I was going with the amazing, Keeler. Yeah, I know.
All right, so, and probably a pipe dream. Okay, let's start with, we were just talking about Fauci here, and your take on the whole, why can't we as a country, as a government, say, let's get to the bottom of this. Let's not come in to defeat someone, and that Republicans and Democrats are guilty of this.
Yeah.
Why can't we just say, we're not here to embarrass anybody, we're not here to score political points, we're here to try to get to the bottom of what was the cause of COVID. Why can't we do that? Because we don't, and we didn't.
You're right. I think it is because of a highly politicized and polarized political climate. I think that if we just go back 25 years, in a bipartisan way, we would have come to a hearing and listened to real testimony, and both sides would have demanded that. It has deteriorated over a long period of time where it looks more like politics rather than investigation. And I do think, listen, as far as COVID goes, I was a biology teacher. I certainly lost friends to COVID. But I do believe that, the American people need to know. I also think a lot of the American people have moved on, from a lot of things, and don't necessarily want to go back and rehash this for political purposes, but some people do, So listen, I think we can all agree that the response wasn't perfect. This did largely occur under the first Trump presidency, and Fauci was his person. And now we're coming back to litigate it. I think it's an awful look, certainly, to watch someone who is not going to answer any questions. But that's what we've seen. We've seen people take the fifth on very serious issues around the election, around COVID, around investigations, around the insurrection, et cetera, et cetera. And that doesn't put us in a better spot as a country. Yeah. And, I commend the people who, in a bipartisan way, work together and one example where it can still happen is like the housing bill. And I get to see it around, in some of our hearings in the education workforce, and also the Agriculture Committee, where there is bipartisan, serious work that's being done. We need to do that.
Mike says Congress could have done a closed session with Fauci rather than try to score points, and that just did not happen. I would consider you a moderate in Congress. The Democrats have a problem with the far left, and it seems like they're on a roll all over. Although primaries last night were quite competitive, and there were a few moderates that actually won last night. And then you had this El Sayed in Michigan. That race is too close to call. Does the Democratic Party, are they ready to blow it because they're giving President Trump the opportunity to define the party as communist, not socialist?
Yeah, well, listen, I come from a blue-collar family, Bill. I believe in hard work, organized labor, capitalism, free market. I always say this: most people don't want the government in their lives, but when you need them, they should be there and they should be responsive. And that means to make life more affordable or create opportunities, give everybody a fair shot. And I think what we're seeing at both ends of the political spectrum are people saying the deck is stacked against me, and therefore I want something different. Now, listen, you described me a certain way, and I agree with you, is that in a district like where we live, you got to work with everybody, and I think we see so many elected leaders on both sides of the aisle that are willing to do that because they care about the region so much, and that's where I am. So for me, it's not about divisiveness. It's about lowering costs, good paying jobs, great schools, which we have here, and restoring the basic promise that, like, if you work hard, you could build a good life. Wesley Bell, my colleague, who would be more moderate than his primary opponent in Missouri, he won. And I'm not going to rehash every single race out there, but it is a mixed bag. And certainly, listen, I've got to continue to be myself and who I am, and do my best to be a good reflection of the district. I say it all the time. It's great to represent a place like this because you've got to work together. When we end up with the edges of the political spectrum, ideologically, it's going to be less likely that they're going to find common ground, and they're going to work together. People are going to work together. So I think where I stand on that. Certainly, the word communism is going to be thrown around. I'm going to say I think we also can all agree that there's really successful social programs, which is the government being responsive, which would be Social Security and Medicare and programs like that. So that's where government must intervene.
Yeah, okay.
This administration purchased 10% of Intel. That sounds a little socialist.
The president campaigned on affordability. Now he says that the word affordability was made up by Democrats the day that he started.
It was an invention.
That affordability is a Democratic hoax, yet the current Bruce Blakeman commercial is whacking Governor Hochul on what? Affordability. It's in the spot 3 times, as a matter of fact, the word affordability. So I got to say, it's an issue nationally, obviously, which affects, which is, is what your job is. But at the same time, in New York, I guess it's easy to blame Trump when it comes to affordability, certainly when it comes to this war. But on the other hand, what you're paying for your utility bills, how do you not blame Hochul on that? How do you not blame her that it's her committee that raises these rates?
It is the PSC. You are correct. And they are approved by the legislature. And, we've already commented to members of the PSC when these rate hikes were approved. After, honestly, they were frozen for a while. You can't make promises to people, and politicians have been doing this since the word politician started, right? Which is that you can't make promises that you can't keep because it further erodes trust in government. So not just the word affordability, Keeler, accountability, right? So, I'm going to say 2 separate things here. The first is, the president, he was running saying this. I have the statement, which is he's going to cut your utility bills by 50% in 18 months. Well, it's 18 months, and nobody's utility bills are cut there. And I will get to the state piece here in a second. But even when Biden was in office, I would say, listen, if the president could lower inflation and keep costs down and flip a switch, he would. But to your point, we're talking about what? The free market. And we're coming out of a pandemic where there were supply chain issues. This administration has slapped on some tariffs that I think, being kind, people would say it was an erratic, not strategic. And then also, we have a war in Iran, we have a war in Ukraine, and I know, because I get this information, is that having a very cold winter, that drove natural gas costs way up. So we can debate whether we should transition away from fossil fuels, but just from a market standpoint, we have to do that, but do it in a reasonable and pragmatic way. And that's because of energy independence and the demand only growing. That, when I taught in the classroom, I would say to my students, fossil fuel, oil, natural gas, only going to be there for so long, only going to be accessible, and what we're seeing right now is only going to be necessarily so affordable. So, listen, the PSC, Public Service Commission, has a job to do. They raised rates. I know that some of our major utilities have committed moving forward to freeze rates over the next couple of years because they know that their ratepayers are seeing the pain. At least that is something. But we can't take energy projects offline. We need an all-above-the approach. So just like I don't entirely blame Biden because we are in a free market, I don't entirely blame Trump, nor do I entirely blame the governor. I do believe in a commitment where that propane, that natural gas, that oil will not be there, will not be affordable forever.
Yep.
China is running away from the field right now because they're producing more energy generation domestically for them and away from fossil fuels because they know that battle for those fuels, especially in a growing population with China, India, and the rest of the world, they're using more fuels than ever before. That is driving up some of the costs. Everybody has some responsibility to bear, but also the market is going to dictate what these costs are. Yep. And that's what I mean about government intervening to make things more affordable so people can get by. We have to do something, and I'm part of a caucus that is actively working on legislation to do so.
All right, out of time. We'll do it again soon. Congressman John Mannion, we appreciate it as always. Let's do it again.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks so much. I want to tell you about New York Sash. If you're an experienced installer looking to take the next step in your career, they're hiring. Earn up to $30 an hour, and we 401k, paid time off, a great pay, great benefits, opportunities for advancement, and the list goes on. Reach out to New York Sash, Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Tate Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
He just declared victory. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Abdul El-Sayed, the progressive Democrat running for Senate, backed by socialists in Michigan, posted on X minutes ago, "We won," though votes are still being counted after he said last night.
We are not a purple state. We are a state in need of a movement.
Abdul El-Sayed has a 1 percentage point lead over Congresswoman Haley Stevens, who remained confident last night that she'll win the primary.
We are going to have to get ready and show Mike Rogers what a little stick it to him looks like.
Mike Rogers is the Republican running for that Michigan Senate seat, now held by a retiring Democrat, and he just told Fox if he faces El-Sayed in November.
This is really about the heart and soul of our country. I have never seen someone so radical, so extreme, get nominated by a political party.
Republicans need a new candidate for a House seat in North Carolina. Congressman Chuck Edwards announced on X early this morning he's ending his re-election campaign amid sexual harassment allegations that led the House Ethics Committee to recommend Edwards be censured. President Trump is still giving talks a chance to work out a nuclear deal with Iran and reopen the Strait of Hormuz to oil and other shipping, telling Fox,
"The only thing that matters is action, and they want to make a deal. We'll see what happens. If they don't make a deal,
it's going to be too bad.
Warning Iran, the U.S. will hit them again very hard. The president said that in an interview at his California golf club near Los Angeles, where a few days ago a man was arrested.
Investigators say they found hollow point ammunition in his pocket and a gun in his car. Now, this all happened Sunday afternoon when plainclothes federal agents alerted the Los Angeles Sheriff's Office after spotting someone walking on the golf course grounds. They believed the suspect was taking photographs and videos and appeared to monitor security.
That's Fox's Natalie Chuck. That suspect facing numerous felony charges. And President Trump, he spent the night in Las Vegas, where later today he'll give a speech on the economy. America's listening to Fox News.
Larry Elder here. When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. Does it work? And can you trust it? Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our customers do it. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and we'd like you to hear a few of their stories. Chris has spent years doing physical work, leaving his feet sore at the end of the day. After starting Relief Factor, he felt so good he did something he'd never done before. He ran a half marathon. Now he tells all his friends about Relief Factor. I've got back issues. I've been taking Relief Factor every single morning for years. Without it, the back problems come back. They make it easy to find if you'll be the next person telling us Relief Factor gave you your life back. 3 weeks for just $17.76. Simply go to ReliefFactor.com, that's ReliefFactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with our friendly local team and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you'll be soon sharing your story with us too. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF.
Another legal battle is brewing over congressional redistricting in another state, this time Maryland, where Republicans may file a lawsuit as soon as today to challenge what state lawmakers approved. A ballot question this fall to let voters decide on redistricting.
With a yes vote on the question November 3rd, lawmakers could move to create newly redrawn maps for the 2028 election cycle. Maryland has 8 House seats. 7 are held by Democrats, the party that controls Maryland's legislature. Both chambers had to have 3/5 support to add the question. While Maryland has been slower than other states in efforts to redistrict, Democratic Governor Wes Moore said in a statement he doesn't want to be caught flat-footed, while Republican legislatures add seats. Nationwide, 8 states have changed maps to help Republicans, while 2 give Democrats an edge in districts. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The CDC continues to investigate that nasty cyclosporiasis outbreak in many states, giving people a horrible case of diarrhea and other ailments. Michigan's had the most cases, more than 11,000. 2 people have died there. There's a salmonella scare in Minnesota.
Forget the side of guacamole causing extra. Watch out for the jalapenos, which may be connected to a salmonella outbreak. Chipotle Mexican Grill says they've replaced them with product from different growers. The Minnesota Department of Health confirmed that it was investigating a salmonella outbreak between mid-June and mid-July tied to several Mexican-style quick-service restaurants with jalapenos as the suspected source. In a statement, the restaurant chain said the peppers were pulled out of an abundance of caution, but did not specify which locations this happened at. John Saucier, Fox News.
On Wall Street, the Dow could hit a new all-time high again. Stock futures are rising the day after the Dow's 907-point surge, closing over 54,000 for the first time. The S&P 500 also had a record high close. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have cloudy skies, sunshine trying to make an appearance. We're at 62 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 8:05. This news update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. A mutual separation between the Utica School District and Superintendent Dr. Christopher Spence. A statement released by the district and the board on Tuesday says Spence's time as the superintendent of Utica Schools will come to an end effective September 4th. Spence had been under contract through next year, but requested a leave of absence earlier this year. He also filed a complaint with the New York State Division of Human Rights alleging discrimination and retaliation. The agreement between the two sides, quote, resolves all outstanding employment-related matters and legal proceedings between the two parties, end quote. Dr. Kathleen Davis will continue to serve as the acting superintendent through September 4, then take over as interim superintendent for the 2026-27 school year. Rome's mayor calling for the demolition of the former Staley School on East Bloomfield Street. This after a fire at the school on Monday, leading to a large response from Rome fire crews. Mayor Jeff Lanigan says it's become an abandoned property, attracting vandalism, trespassing, fires, and other illegal activity that requires the attention of emergency services. District officials say FEMA has told them they cannot use grant funding to demolish the school, which has been closed since suffering serious water damage back in 2021. Lanigan is hoping the district and FEMA can work out an agreement that allows federal dollars to cover the expense of demolition. An update to a tragic story out of Mechanicville. Police yesterday holding a press briefing where they say Sarah Myers and her grandmother, Amy Stedman, plotted together to kill her 4 children and then kill themselves. Investigators say based on text messages between Myers and Stedman, they determined that 13-year-old Harper, 11-year-old Hudson, 10-year-old Gavin, and 10-year-old Gracelyn were all given various medications before their deaths. Police also say Gavin had been stabbed multiple times. The family was found dead in Stedman's apartment back in late June. Investigators say a note signed by Stedman justified the killings, saying they were protecting the kids from abuse by their father, Brady, who lives in Utah. There were also writings left by the mother, Sarah Myers, where she referred to her kids as babies and detailed Myers' contempt for the Utah family court system. And the latest in the story of a Central New York bus driver accused of transporting kids under the influence. During a hearing yesterday, 39-year-old Bradley Wygant, his defense attorneys requested more time to review the results of blood tests. Previously, the prosecution presented the results, which showed what substances were allegedly in Wygant's system at the time of the crime. This occurred in Oswego. Wygant is charged on multiple counts, including aggravated driving while intoxicated and endangering the welfare of a child. The judge granted the request and scheduled the next hearing in the case for September 10th. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time coming up on 8:09.
Good looking morning, seeing a few clouds around. There may be some patchy fog. Right now, I'm not seeing it. Looks good into the afternoon. Maybe an uptick in humidity, a bit close to 90. Tonight, some clouds, upper 60s. North Country, a little bit cooler. Isolated showers and thundershowers are possible tomorrow morning. Better chance of some scattered stuff in the afternoon. 90 showers and thunderstorms on Friday with a high in the upper 80s. The humidity's going to stay with us too, so likely feeling warmer each day. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies, 63 degrees at 8:09. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, Yankees win, Mets win, and the Sox took down the Sox. The Yankees shut out the Cardinals 2-0 in the Bronx. Jazz Chisholm and George Lombard Jr. each went deep with a solo home run. The Yankees look to take the rubber match of the series tonight. The Mets got a 6-2 victory against the Guardians in Cleveland. Luis Torrens, 3 for 3 with a 3-run homer and 4 RBIs. The Mets snap a 3-game losing streak. And the Red Sox rolled past the White Sox 14-2 in the opener at Fenway Park. Boston has won 6 straight. They continue that 3-game series coming up tonight. The Green Bay Packers say they're optimistic that Micah Parsons will be back for Week 6 when the Packers play the Cowboys at Lambeau Field. He's been out since Week 15 of last year when he tore his ACL. Some preseason injuries in camp involving torn ACLs. The Cowboys tight end Princeton Fant, headed to season-ending surgery after he tore his ACL during practice yesterday. The Falcons' Jalen Walker appears to have torn his ACL during practice yesterday. And the Chargers' offensive tackle Rashawn Slater left training camp early after getting hurt in 11-on-11 drills. No word yet on his injury, but he missed all of last year with a torn patellar tendon suffered during a preseason workout. At Giants minicamp, or training camp, I should say, no serious injuries, but quarterback Jackson Dart celebrated a rushing touchdown by tossing the ball off the helmet of cornerback Greg Newsome. That prompted a bit of a scuffle with defensive players and Dart and some of the offense as well. Head coach John Harbaugh was not pleased. He apparently was serving as the referee for the game, tossed an imaginary flag and assessed a 15-yard penalty for taunting before the extra point was attempted during the scrimmage.
So how much of this is, and I will bring in Cully on this one, how much of this is show? Because there were like several, Davey, at Bill's camp yesterday, first day of pads.
Yep. Scuffles.
A lot of scuffles. In fact, some of the rookies went after some veterans.
Yeah.
And
they got heated.
And they were doing some real punches to the face.
Sure are.
Is it real punches to the face? Cully.
Bill, it is 100% normal when you are a rookie coming into the NFL, especially undrafted.
And by the way, you played European NFL.
I played NFL Europe. I was in mini camps, training camps, all that. But
yes,
when you're a rookie, drafted, undrafted, you have to come in and set a tone. So usually when there's pads and their first drill is 11 on 11, fights are going to break out because rookies want to, it's like dogs marking their territory. They want to show that they're not going to be bullied, they're not going to be pushed around, and they are going to take someone's job.
Okay.
And it is real.
Your take on that?
Yeah, I get what he's saying. Also, there's probably some pent-up frustration because maybe I'm wrong about this. You would know better than I would, but when you are a rookie, you carry bags, right? You have some stuff you have to do for the veterans. You have to pay your dues, yes. So if
your locker's at a crappy spot.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, there is I've seen the videos from inside this new stadium for Buffalo.
Oh.
I'm not sure there is a bad spot.
No. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
No, but guys have to give up their numbers.
Yeah.
They give up their numbers, yeah.
So, and I think you want it to be competitive. You want it to be, if your quarterback's throwing a bomb and placing it perfectly in the breadbasket, as Josh Allen did yesterday, to his new receiver, then you want to make sure, and with 3 defenders on him, you want it to be real because you want him doing that in a game against Miami or Kansas City or whatever. So, yeah, I like it. Because you're not going to get it in preseason. None of your starters most of them aren't even going to play. Josh Allen will not even play.
The ACL injuries, there's been so much talk about the field turf. And they can go back to grass. They have the money to go back to grass. The players don't like playing on turf. And I do think that's a big contributor.
I got to tell you, they don't like playing on turf until it's one of these games in October and November where it keeps raining and the turf is just being torn up and nobody can get traction. Then everyone goes, "Hey, it was great. I can get good grip on the turf."
Problem is when it's 10 degrees, that turf is rough.
Yeah, it's tough to maintain. You got to water it. You got to rake it because there's pellets. That's what keeps it soft.
Buffalo's new stadium is grass.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but it makes it though difficult because you have to change the cleats will change. Everything changes when you go on the road and you're playing on turf.
100%.
It would be better, don't you think, if it was everybody has the same.
Well, and the other thing is though, but to the point you made about the cleats, like it'll be more likely that the Bills are changing cleats during home games because depending on how hard the ground is, they'll use longer or shorter.
Yeah.
Where usually with turf, you can even get away with field shoes, essentially.
Not on the field turf. The old school turf, the Astro turf, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even with this, you're saying...
No, they do wear cleats on these.
Davey.
But they're molded.
I had to laugh. Bradley Chubb, who is the new one of the new acquisitions from the Bills, was playing for the Dolphins the last couple of years, and he was making reference about the new stadium. He says, at least in the old Ralph Wilson Stadium, there was hot water. In the new stadium, the water will be much warmer in the new home locker room compared to the locker room across the street.
Yeah, that stadium. And now I'm hearing they're going to keep that stadium?
They've torn it down, most of it.
Oh, they have torn it down?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I remember there was some deal where you could get seats or something.
What are they going to do with it?
I guess it's going to be a parking lot or something.
They're going to build, it's going to be...
Well, I've heard casino, too.
Oh.
Seneca's.
The Pagulas are smart.
Okay, a couple of things. Today is National Underwear Day.
Okay. I remember to wear mine.
Women, but guys too. I mean, I think guys have their choice. Like I am a bamboo underwear, which is why Davey in the hallway heard that and said, "That's why you walk around with a stick up your aft." He didn't say aft though.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did.
No, we heard you, Davey. Your mic was on.
Come on, man. Stay with me. But I mean, boxers, briefs, that argument. Whatever.
You're a bamboo guy. I keep seeing the ads for him on social media.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah?
That's all
Keep you cool?
They do keep you cool. And, I'm pretty hot down there, so you got to... they do keep you cool, but they're boxer briefs. I'm a boxer brief, so there's 3 different types that guys could wear, right? And then, of course, there's the nothing. Did you see what Zach Brown did? The singer, country singer, like Margaritaville type country singer. Did you see what he did at his Boston Fenway concert? Beth, did you see it?
Nope, I didn't.
Okay, pretty wild.
Chicken fried.
He gave... I think it was like their so many in a row sold out show. And as a gift to everyone in the stadium, he gave everyone in the stadium a cruise.
What?
Oh,
Yes.
He pulled an
Yes.
Oprah. He pulled an
Yes.
Oprah.
You get a cruise, and you get a cruise. This is not Zach Brown. I don't know why it's playing, to be honest. But I can't.
It's cruise music.
I cannot play the clip until it stops. Okay, so here he is at the stadium in Boston, giving it all away. Here we go.
Tonight we're gonna do something that even Jimmy would say is crazy. I'm
Jimmy
buying
Bubba.
every single person here a cruise for 2 people on the boat. Every single person here gets a cruise for themselves and a loved one to go on the boat. This is the biggest giveaway in history, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight at Fenway Park. Make sure you get your ticket and you hit the code, and we'll see you out on the water for sure.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a big.
So you're talking
it's a big
43.
gift.
What do you think he paid for the cruise?
Well, I would have to imagine he got a package deal, right? Some
I would
kind
think
of a
they're
discount.
Oh my God!
If you're
Yeah.
buying cruise tickets $43,000 at a
yeah.
time, I would imagine
Yeah.
the price.
If there's no discount for quantity at that, I don't want to know about it.
Even if they gave him a deal and a half of $200 for the cruise, right? And that'd be pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Let's even go. There's 43,000 people. Let's even go where we have these promos that'll come up. You can buy a cruise, give it away on the radio for $50, but they got to pay for their airfare to Florida and all that crap.
Yeah.
Let's say it's $50.
Yeah.
Even at $50, 43,000 tickets, $2,150,000.
Yeah, but how much were the tickets to attend his concert?
Well, they're expensive, and he made a little bit. That's a pretty cool gift, though.
Listen, is it Also, is it possible that his concert tickets cost more than whatever discount cruise line this is?
Right. Maybe he's put a $50 premium on every ticket. We're gonna kick it back, and it's possible. Yeah. Anyway, either way, that's a pretty cool thing. You go and get that. Beth, what are you promoting now that you're retired?
Sleeping in.
I like that.
That's what I'm promoting. Not waking up to an alarm clock. That's what I'm promoting.
That's good. And they say that's the best way if you wake up naturally.
Yes.
As opposed to
my bladder's still waking up naturally between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning.
That is true. Yeah. The average
so
guy.
there are still some mountains to climb here.
Yep.
But as you know, coming up, I have a CSA pickup this weekend at Oneida County Public Market. So it is still the season. Sweet corn's just coming in. You're still finding blueberries.
Was this a good year for sweet corn?
So far it is, yeah. It's just started. It's maybe 2 weeks old. So the season's just starting. But by all means, we touched on supporting local earlier in the show. Always, always, always look local first. Stay loyal to local first. That doesn't mean it's always going to be the best solution.
Buying directly from
the
farm.
Producer, from the farmer, from the rancher.
What you're getting.
If there's a question of geez, what do you do with an eggplant? The farmer's right there. They'll tell you. They'll give you a family recipe. They'll tell you what they use it for. But go and I would love it if you'd go to the Oneida County Public Market on Saturdays behind the train station. But if that's not convenient, there's Oneida County has almost a dozen farmers markets.
What is the biggest one?
The biggest one, Clinton is number one for the county.
That's packed there.
We are very proud to be pretty consistently Oneida County Public Market number 2.
Yeah.
But every market needs to be not the biggest, not the most vendors. My focus was always to make sure the market was what the community needed it to be.
Yeah. And the best scenario is if you're done, you sell out everything that you have.
Exactly.
That's a great situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It takes the vendor an hour to set up and 10 minutes to break down because they sold everything.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
Jeff's got a really good promotional piece that Oneida County Tourism has worked with the cooperative extension with this year. Second year it's been launched. It's called Rooted. It is an agritourism guidebook.
So good.
And it touches on the agricultural partners throughout Oneida County. And it's not always necessarily going to a farmer's market. It might be going to a UPIC. It might be, and UPICs could be, this time of the year. I know Candelas still has blueberries. North Star Orchards, I know, has blueberries too. Sweet corn's coming in. Then the big thing people are going to be looking at, of course, with Labor Day coming up, is going to be the pumpkins.
Yep.
And then the hay rides. And, the big box stores already have believe it or not, candy corn out. That's not an agricultural product. But
Tim Reed sent me a picture of every year he sends me his first spotting of Halloween.
Yeah.
And it was right after 4th of July.
Really?
There was a Halloween display.
There's already like pumpkin lattes and stuff coming out of the coffee shops already.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All
But
right.
Always stay loyal to local, go to your local farmer's market.
Okay.
Can I just say, Beth, my father loves the sweet corn. He eats it almost every day. And the blueberries. Loves the blueberries.
Yeah. Yep.
I hate to say it, but as years have gone on, I like to cut the corn off.
Yeah.
That's how I freeze it.
Yeah, you can freeze it.
You can freeze it.
So, and it totally tastes like sweet corn in the middle of the winter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You cut it off. All right. Here's what are you promoting? I'm going to give you a chance. Here's a deal for you.
I like to stick mine on the end of a drill and just.
I've seen that. And right, if you use and then put a stick in, that's really good.
Yeah.
What am I promoting?
Okay, promote your podcast. But here's the deal. I don't ever want to hear again when you ask a guest a question.
I can't.
If I'm giving you the privilege.
Yes.
Do you agree, Jeff?
Yes, Jeff told me last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, now I'm telling you.
All right. I won't say that again.
And the end result, it's very simple.
It's just branding.
If you ever want to come back on, you will follow this mandate. Okay?
Understood.
No more of that crap.
Understood.
Now, if that's your slogan, I am giving you the opportunity right now to plug your podcast, and you can say you're the greatest of all time.
I'm not.
Be Muhammad Ali if you want.
No.
But he was able to back it up, by the way. But no more during any other time. You can do it now.
Okay. No, we have a great podcast network. We have shows about every topic imaginable, from sports to mental health, nonprofit organizations, business, whatever you desire. We have something for everyone. Steve Cully, just go to my YouTube channel and you can subscribe, and our shows are all on there. We cover MMA, football, like I said, business, nonprofits, mental health, and UConn sports.
Right.
We do
the
it all.
Woo Sox.
And the Woo Sox. Thank you.
And listen, I'll get every once in a while, why do you let Cully come on? Because you do that stuff.
Well,
so now you won't do it anymore. And my answer is, I like him. End of story. Okay? But I think you do at times have something to add.
Yeah.
Which is why I do like being able to go to somebody who played NFL Europe and get your perspective. I think it's incredibly interesting. And you've been brave enough to tell your story, which is very sad but very heroic at the same time.
And that documentary is close to
you have
coming out soon.
A documentary, but that's not the reason any of this. But
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's got a documentary coming out on Netflix.
On Netflix?
Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't seem...
it's
he's upset because he was supposed to have me in it, and he never followed through.
Well, they couldn't get the interview with him.
Yeah, because I'm so in demand.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm so in
She
demand.
was here for a week.
Huh?
This real?
It is real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I taped some of his
interview for
some
it.
of his
Yes,
interview,
my final interview,
and sent it to them.
Yeah, they're doing post-production now, and yeah, it's just it's.
And the story, for those who don't know, if you don't know, is, if I may,
absolutely.
You had everything.
Yes. I blew up my life. Yes,
and he blew it all up.
Yes, I was engaged. House
female, family.
Yeah.
You were coaching in college, Division I college football, and everything went away because of this horrible problem of pain.
Fentanyl.
And they give you the medicine until they don't, and then what do you do to stop the pain? And I don't know if anybody else. I'm a baby.
That was a big
Listen, if my nose is stuffed and I can't breathe out of my nose, I feel claustrophobic and go nuts. I have to have something.
Yeah.
Imagine what it'd be like if you had pain that was excruciating and never went away. You find something, and that's what you did, and it became very bad.
Jeffrey, I was being tapered off of pain medication, and it was not my decision. My fiance and my doctor had a meeting and said, we want to get him off this. They tapered me very fast, and during the taper, like Bill said, I was in horrible pain. So I wasn't sleeping. I was miserable, and I resorted to other means to control that pain. And, when you're spending $150 a day on fentanyl, that's pretty bad. And I'm lucky to be alive. And wow. I went to rehab with 18 people. 16 are dead.
Wow.
Now,
so it is an interesting story, and it's a scary story. And he's not nervous. Some poor guy in Cornhill who never had an opportunity.
No,
this is someone who
white collar,
wonderful family,
brought up well,
had everything in the world at your fingertips.
Yeah,
you'd like to play for the Buffalo Bills, but hey,
I was happy with how far I went.
You got to go off and play in NFL Europe, and then you got to coach.
Yeah,
and you were coaching at a high level. You were coaching
Division I.
Yeah.
Holy Cross. He said, yeah.
So, how quickly it can go away?
It's just embarrassing when you go through the whole story like we did, and it coming out and people seeing it. I'm not as excited.
Yeah, because it makes you look.
Because
at times you were very pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, I stole, I lied, I lost friends. I mean, it was bad when you relive it all, and it was
wow. Well, I'm glad you're doing better, Cully, and we love you. And
but that's how I got into podcasting.
And can I tell you that? Oh, by the way, for those on YouTube, yes, he does annoy me at times. But
of course.
But you always have since you were my intern when you were in high school. So college, whatever. You acted like you were in high school. That's right.
Right. That's what.
So, but you lost part of your leg.
Yeah, that was part of the story too. I was had my foot amputated,
and your battle will never end.
No, it's a daily struggle.
Yeah,
it's a daily struggle. Yes. But when you look back and you see, somebody just died 2 weeks ago. So 18 people that I was in treatment with, 16 are dead. And it's all from overdoses.
And all it takes really is one, you've been clean. You have one relapse. Yeah. It could be the one.
Yes, because people usually try to take the same dose that they had always had.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm aware of this because I'm aware of some people that I knew or grew up with who had a similar problem and
probably no longer with us.
They're no longer with us, and in two of the instances, what was explained to me was essentially they had been clean for a period of time,
exactly,
and then the first time back at it, were trying to do a dose that they were doing when they were using daily,
and that kills you.
It just overwhelmed the body.
And the other thing that's rare about me is I got it right the first time. Most people that I was in rehab with, it was like their third, fourth, fifth time going. For someone to get it right once, it's like 5% that that way. So I always wonder, like, should I just relapse and get it over with?
No.
Because I feel like it's coming. Because nobody gets it right once. You know, it's very, very rare.
It's rare. You say nobody, but you're rare, you know.
Yeah, I am, but I worry about that.
And you owe all of this to yourself, but you owe it to some very important people
parents.
in your family. Is just, you know, imagine what they've been through. And I'm sure that weighs on you.
It's a tremendous amount of guilt, and I remember.
And you have a family. You know, your dad is in the public eye.
Absolutely.
And you know, here you are. They probably wish you weren't talking about it at times.
No,
but
they don't.
It's what you.
Don't mind it.
This is what keeps you going, I think.
They don't mind it. Yeah, you're supposed to pay it forward.
And if I can make one other, so your parents and your family, some people who were close to you no longer speak to you.
Correct. Yeah,
and they've had
for good reason.
And they can't understand how you could do this.
You can't make amends with everyone.
To get what you want, you will steal. You become the best liar. Right?
You're a master manipulator.
Yes,
because it consumes your existence. Addiction. Yeah. You'll do anything for it.
And once you get it, you'll get it right on the other side. Yeah. But you got to get it right now. You got to get it right now.
Absolutely.
The other thing is the community, I have to say, at UConn is unbelievably supportive because you played football at UConn.
They shockingly welcomed me back because I had stayed away. And
much of your podcast popularity is around the UConn community.
Correct. Yes, covering UConn sports, and I was.
And he gets huge numbers. Listen, he gets huge numbers.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, I had 31,000.
They're not fake. Those are real.
32,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah,
but yeah, the UConn thing really brought me back. Mike Burton, he invited me back to a game, and I was surprised. And I sat in his suite, and just to be able to go back, I never expected that after, kind of tainting it and embarrassing them.
But wrapping this all up, I don't ever want to hear you again ask a question with an intro that says I'm the greatest podcaster on the planet. Just ask the freaking question, okay? Yes, otherwise, the mic goes off. It doesn't come back on. Okay? We all good? What a story, right?
Yeah.
A story of just resilience and success, that the odds were so far against you and remain to be so far against you. You should be very proud and keep that in your mind, that you have a lot of people that see that, and that should help keep you going.
Yeah, and I'll just say that I remember the day that my father, my friend Uwe and Terry showed up at my hotel room, and they said, because I was kicked out, and they said, you need to go to rehab. We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way.
Either way you're going.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I said, okay, we're going.
Yeah.
And my friend, I had stuff on me, and I put my hands in my pockets, my sweatshirt, and my friend Uwe, who's sharp as a tack, saw it. He said, take your hands out, open your hands. I left the baggies in my pocket. I opened my hands. He reached right in. He grabbed him. He knew.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. But that saved my life.
Meanwhile, there's on the other side of all of this, there's someone out there selling this crap to you.
Yeah.
And they're selling it to another 10,000 of you out there that have to have it and most likely will die from it.
Yeah. And it gets to a point where you don't feel the effects of a high. It's to not get sick.
Yeah.
It's to not go through withdrawal.
Thank you and congratulations, all of that. Coming up, a local business expanding, and it's a local business we love. They made our Just Neon made our neon clock that is operational today. Got to unplug it at the end of the show. I don't want anybody to see.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with them. It's how they run things in this square town.
He's coming in, and we're going to speak to him next. Plus, he has an amazing coffee. All that coming up.
You wouldn't drive a car without suspension, so why mow without it? Ferris Commercial Mowers set the bar as the first and only manufacturer to integrate suspension into their mowers, allowing you to go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Whether you're a professional cutter or a homeowner that wants to mow like a pro, Ferris is there with the commercial-grade mowers to keep you going strong. Visit the Caledonia family today at Clinton Tractor to set up a test drive and feel the Ferris difference.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
This is Dan from Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, across from Texas Roadhouse. Get years of summer fun for you and your family with a new above-ground pool starting at just $89.99 installed. You can take advantage of our 0% in-house financing. We can have your new pool installed in about 10 days. Don't let the summer pass you by. If an in-ground pool is your dream, the experts at Acme will guide you through the process. There's nothing better than enjoying summer in your backyard with an in-ground pool. Don't miss out on our midsummer sale with above-ground pools starting at $89.99 installed within about 10 days with our in-house 0% financing. Or let the experts at Acme guide you through selecting a custom in-ground pool, choosing from steel or fiberglass options. That's Acme Pool and Spa on Commercial Drive in New Hartford, and our midsummer pool sale going on now. We do the work, you just enjoy.
Do not trust what any CEO ever tells you. Do not trust US Mobile just because I'm telling you. My name is Ahmed Khatak and I'm the founder of US Mobile. US Mobile invented this technology that lets you share data across any of the 3 networks in America. There's more coverage than any single carrier in America because we give you all 3 of them and let you switch between them anytime. Our cheapest plans start as low as $5. They go up to $44, but that $44 plan gives you unlimited priority data in America and keeps you connected in more than 160 countries abroad. US Mobile offers a 30-day free trial. US Mobile has no contracts. We don't lock you down. And over 1 million customers seem to like it. We're a top-rated carrier by Consumer Reports. US Mobile is Wirecutter's top cell phone plan. All I'm asking for anyone who's listening to this is just Google US Mobile. Just go to US Mobile subreddit. Just search for US Mobile and make a decision for yourself. If you're ready, visit usmobile.com.
Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services.
Little Falls Lumber has everything you need for home improvement season. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors. Available in 12-foot lengths and affordable solutions for sheds, garages, and roof repairs. Tired of digging through warped boards at the big box stores? At Little Falls Lumber, you'll find only premium grade lumber, hand-selected for quality. They also carry roofing, siding, windows, doors, and much more. Visit Little Falls Lumber in Little Falls in Syracuse. Call 315-823-2470 or go to littlefallslumber.com.
Don't risk losing the news, sports, and weather that AM radio delivers. When cell and internet service fail, AM is your lifeline. With time running out, your voice matters. Text AM to 39179 and tell Congress, vote yes on the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month and you may text stop to stop. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
For a number of reasons, Insera's Flooring Outlet should be on the top of your list for any of your flooring needs. This is Bill Keeler. Reason number 1, Insera's has the area's largest inventory in stock and plenty for you to choose from. Reason number 2, Insera's offers the best in quality floor covering. Top name brands like Shaw, Mohawk, Coratec, Mannington, and there are so many others. Reason number 3, Insera's will meet or beat any locally advertised price. Reason number 4, it's service. Decades of experience, starting with Sal and Sarah and everybody, the entire team. You get unbeatable service at Insera's Flooring Outlet. And remember, you can get 6 months interest-free financing for qualified buyers. Insera's Flooring Outlet. Unrivaled service and experience, all at an affordable price. Now you see why more people buy from the big store. Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and InserasFlooringOutlet.com.
Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is a simple, anonymous way to keep our neighborhood safe by reporting crimes anonymously. Cash incentives are available if the tip leads to an arrest. If you see something, say it here. MohawkValleyCrimeStoppers.com or phone in tips at 866-730-TIPS. And registration is now open for the 6th annual Crime Stoppers Golf Outing, Saturday, September 19th at the Shamrock Golf Course in Oriskany. Call Anna for registration forms at 315-269-3924.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, a Wednesday morning and really the start of some hot weather coming. Going to be hot. According to Ray Stagig, anyway. Let me bring in Howie Cohen. He is from Just Neon. And Howie, we've been, when I discovered years ago that you were Neon, and do neon. Not working good for you. Yeah, doing neon the original way, and one of the few left in the country over on James Street. We just became big fans.
Sure, Bill. We've been around for quite a while, about 30 years now, and I think we met maybe 7, 8, 9 years ago. And one of the things my mom always said when you come into a radio show or someone's house is always bring gifts, never come in
I like that, yeah.
So my mom was, a smart woman. So I have something for you today. I don't know if I mentioned this previously or I brought some in previously, but this is some of the freshest coffee on earth right here. It's from Kenya. And just roasted it yesterday, so I want to present this to you.
Okay.
In a whole bean form.
You're full of beans, by the way.
I'm full of beans.
So,
my wife says I'm full of something else, but I can't put that on the label.
What is the name of the coffee?
The name of the company name is Full of Beans Coffee Company.
Okay.
That's why I said you're full of beans.
Full of beans.
And we're now located in a new location.
I love the spot. You're right on the arterial.
Thank you. Right on the arterial. Just south of where Hemstraut's Bakery is. We not only roast there, but we now have my neon sign shop there. So under one roof, we have 2 businesses, actually 3 businesses. My wife is doing her spray tanning, all organic spray tanning there in the front offices.
Is that by appointment? How does she do that?
Yeah, that's by appointment, and you can call Just Neon, and I can give you her number and make arrangements. It's quite nice. I mean, I've done it. And it makes you feel great. It's a smooth, your skin feels great, and it's a natural thing. It's not a color that's applied.
I'm asking you topic, Davey, is what I'm asking you, just so I know how to deal with a call. Okay. I know that, but if you could ask me, find out what he's doing. Oh, boy. Today, though, we're really promoting your coffee.
So this is this coffee business of mine I've been doing about 10 years. I supply to some local restaurants and doctors' offices and various places, and I ship out. It's a small batch roastery. It's an artisan roastery. So I'll take a coffee, roast it to a medium or light medium roast. And at the new place now, we have a sampling room, so you can come in and have a sample of what we're doing.
Nice.
You could also have a regular cup of coffee, an Americano, as it were. And very shortly, we'll be offering espressos and macchiatos and cappuccinos.
So you're going to have your brand of espresso.
So it's really not my brand. I mean, the coffee is from Kenya. I have Rwandan, I have Costa Rican, Peruvian. I mean, coffee comes from
when you roast it, though,
number of countries.
Is that what makes your coffee unique?
My coffee isn't unique. I mean, it's unique in that perhaps my roaster is a unique roaster. So the roaster I use does not mix the exhaust gases with the coffee itself. So in that way, it's a little bit unique. So I think my coffee will taste better against the next guy's coffee because of the roaster, not because of me. I don't do anything special.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything to...
Well, no, it's interesting. I tell this joke stupidly, and as a matter of fact, I think, Beth, when we had a guest and a farmer came in, and it always reminds me of The Sopranos, so you're talking about macchiatos and espressos and everything else. The Paulie and the Bompensero, I don't want to say his name, although you were using the name the other day a couple times. But from Sopranos.
Talking about Rozier, yeah.
No, we were talking about Bompensero from The Sopranos.
Yes, yeah.
And they're in like a chain coffee shop, and he goes, "I'll have a whatever." It took him 30 seconds to say the name of it. And then Paulie walks up, Paulie Walnuts, and he goes, "You got any just coffee?" Yeah. Because, macchiato and this and that, and now they have ice varieties. But you have to have a variance to a variety in order to compete in the market today.
Another mob reference was Henry Hill, who was the inspiration for Ray Liotta played him in Goodfellas. Henry Hill on Stern back, I don't know, before he died. Bombed out of his mind, laying on the pavement in New York City outside Stern's studio, asking for someone to get him a macchiato. And he was trying to say macchiato. That was a very sad ending to his life. Nonetheless, it's just coffee.
It's just coffee, and there are plenty of cafes out there where you can go and get a coffee with all kinds of additives, sugars and flavors, and and all kinds of stuff. And in my business, I'm not really focused on that. I want people, especially the true coffee connoisseur, to come in and experience what coffee should taste like, minus all those other additives. I mean,
and you take it home and you put it in your machine and you create your own magic.
You can take home ground coffee. You can take home whole bean coffee, and enjoy it right in your own home.
Finally, so the coffee's there. There's a tasting room, all of that. You'll see the billboard right along the arterial. You're right there. I love the location. And if you have an old Saranac sign or a neon that isn't working, or you have, this clock that you did for us, which part of it's showing on TV, but it doesn't do it justice. The red and the blue are such wonderful colors.
So
it's amazing.
The interesting thing, and we've talked about this before, but these colors that I'm using on your clock are Italian colors. They're made in Italy, and they get shipped over. You don't see them that often because they're a little more costly. I mean, based on the euro and the transportation. But we're not using a lot of glass in that particular clock, and it just makes it. It just really is. They're so rich and saturated that it looks great. I mean, cameras can't really grasp the richness of those blues.
The gift for that one person. By the way, my father is celebrating his 81st birthday today, my dad.
Happy birthday.
So if you see the real Bill Keeler today, wish him a happy birthday. But for the person who has everything, and you want to get him something unique, what a gift.
Oh, my God. I mean, a neon sign, they last forever. They're bright, beautiful. They don't cost a lot to operate. And quite honestly, how many times have you touched that clock in the past, 10 years or however long you've had it?
Yep.
Twice, probably.
Yeah.
One in the spring and one in the fall. That's right. Just to change the time.
And that might change. Who knows?
That's right.
Okay, Howie, great stuff. Check out your place. Quick question.
Just real quick. I mean, and this is an art. This is a skill. This isn't just a job that you do. And are you? And I'm vaguely remembering a feature story that WKTV did with you not too long ago. Are you working with anybody to kind of pass on this talent?
So it's a great question. I mean, it's a talent, it's a skill that develops over many years.
It's a trade.
And I do train. I do teach people. In fact, we're offering, starting in the fall, we're going to be offering 1 day a week for 4 weeks to come in at, say, 6:30 to 9 or so, that you can learn a little bit about neon, maybe come in with a partner, and experience what it's all about. And at the end of 4 weeks, you take something home with you. Sort of like the old pottery classes or jewelry making classes.
Will you serve coffee, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Plenty of coffee available.
And I can't wait for your espresso to be coming out.
Right. So the machine that we're using is La Marzocco. Now, La Marzocco is made in Florence, the best machine around. And let me tell you, it makes an espresso, especially using real fresh coffee like I have here in my hand. Just is incredible. But let me tell you, Bill, it's hard to follow National Underwear Day.
Yes, it is.
I want you to I have an organic on right now, which is a gourmet underwear. I just want you to know that.
I like it. Well, mine are gourmet bamboo.
Speaking of gourmet underwear, I just heard from Paul Buckley, who said you were recently or about to be on City Limits.
You know what?
This month.
Paul is a master at his craft, and it aired Sunday.
Just ask him.
Just ask Paul. Paul is a great guy, and then City Limits. It'll be on, I guess, again this Sunday, perhaps.
I think it's on for the month.
For the month
of August.
He did a great job, and Paul Buckley, let me tell you, hats off to Paul.
It's on 9 channels at 11 different times. Figure that out.
Well, I see UTR at noon on Sundays and 7 p.m. on my WPNY Channel 12, 7 p.m. Sundays.
And it's the first segment, so you can watch my segment and all the others, too.
It's done the old-fashioned way, one of the few in the country that does this. If you have a neon or if you want one, Just Neon.
Just Neon Sign Company. Just Google it, and you'll get all the info. Thanks, Bill, for having me on.
We really, really appreciate it and love what you do. You're a gem in this area.
I also just realized with Buckley's show that's going to be featuring Just Neon, it's on Channel 7 at noon, Channel 7 at 12, and on Channel 12 at 7.
Yeah,
so
okay,
that's a good way to remember it.
And Buckley, Paul, you also are a gem, but that's a different definition than the gem that I've given to Howie. So you're a gem, sweetheart. On the line right now is Ryan Nobles from NBC. Ryan, good morning. I think you need a Ryan Nobles neon clock, I got to tell you. Oh, yeah, don't touch me.
Bill, you're the only radio show in America where you can have a guy on that makes neon and coffee. I don't know if there's nowhere else in the world I think that's happening.
Well, that's a Utica. I think that's kind of a Utica thing.
That's a Utica thing, for
no
sure.
Doubt.
Yep.
All right,
one of the many Rays Utica special. Mm-hmm.
I saw you last night talking about the primaries. Your thoughts on, because the big focus here for Democrats, and Trump is trying to play this and define this as communism versus socialism. And the big question was going to be, are the moderates dead in the Democratic Party? And it turns out, not really, right?
Listen, I think it was a good night for progressives. I don't want anybody to underplay that. I think that I know NBC has already called the race for Abdul Al-Sayed. He's likely to be the Democratic nominee. But I think the most important statistic to take away from last night is that there were 2.3 million Democrats that voted in the Michigan primary last night. That's the most that have ever voted in a non-presidential primary in the last 28 years. So what does that tell you? It tells you that Democrats are fired up. And I do think that Abdul Al-Sayed winning, I think it's much more likely that Al-Sayed is able to win over moderate voters who are not fans of Donald Trump than it would be that Haley Stevens would be able to win over hardcore progressives that are willing to kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater to get a purity candidate. So I think Al-Sayed probably has a better chance of coalescing the Michigan primary vote. And the fact that there were so many people willing to come out and cast a ballot in early August for a race like this, I think it's a big sign that Democrats are pretty fired up going into 2026.
Banaski.
I saw some reporting this morning, and the take was a little bit different. I just want your thoughts on this. The thought was so many Democrats came out because it was thought Al-Sayed would win handily, and they were trying to support the more establishment Democrat. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that you can make that argument, but, we had reporters on the ground, and when you talk to Democrats that were voting, overwhelmingly what they told us was, I'm voting for Stevens today, I'm voting for Al-Sayed today, but I'm going to vote for whoever wins the Democratic primary in the fall. There does not seem to be a huge divide there. I do think there were moderates that were concerned about Al-Sayed, and I do think that there are moderates worried that he may be too far to the left in a state like Michigan. This is not New York City. This is a state that swings back and forth between Republicans and Democrats. Donald Trump narrowly won the state in 2024, but Democrats won the Senate seat in 2024. But I do think that Al-Sayed's a bit of a different candidate than most progressives. He is very articulate. He has a very competent way of selling the progressive message that is not as scary to middle Americans as some other progressive candidates. I'm thinking about the candidate for governor in Wisconsin, which you may have seen called for canceling Thanksgiving and then kind of doubled down on it on CNN the other day. So I do think that I think there are reasons for Democrats to be concerned, especially because Michigan is a deal breaker for them. They cannot win back the Senate majority if they can't win back, or if they can't hold Michigan. They're talking about winning in places like Texas and Iowa. They're trying to flip Maine, hold Georgia, flip North Carolina. All of that, none of that will matter if they can't hold on to Michigan. So this is as important a race as there is on the map for Senate Democrats, and there's no doubt that it's probably going to be one of the most competitive going into the fall.
Can I just read from YouTube? I just want to read a few comments here. Tony Baloney says, sounds like let's go with the Bill and Ryan I Hate Trump show. By the way, Trump not even mentioned at all here, but this shows you how Trump cannot get out of their heads. He goes on to say, sounds like three lesbians sitting around weaving baskets. Again, it tells me basically...
Is Manaski a lesbian too?
Apparently. But it tells me a little bit about Tony Baloney and Ja Wick and their 29% unwavered support for Donald Trump, because that's where it is. And if you think that's okay, 29% or 30 or 32, whatever it really is, then I guess that's okay. But you're in trouble right now. And by the way, no one is bitching about Trump. The only one talking about Trump is you. Ryan, how do you deal with it? Obviously, in pockets like ours, you have a lot of Trump supporters. And some of them are those TDS Trump supporters, Trump delusional syndrome, where they are so stuck in the cult that they cannot see if he does anything wrong, or if anyone even kind of thinks something even questionable, they are the enemy. I mean,
I don't do anything wrong.
That
greatest president.
That is
your
the real
president, Bill.
That is the real definition of TDS. But Brian, how do you do it?
You can have an emotional argument about this, and I think there are many people, both right and left, that have emotional arguments about candidates that they prefer. But let's just talk about it in pure statistics. You're right to point out pretty much every poll that comes out about President Trump's approval rating has him in the low 30s to high 20s. The last time a president was that far down in the polls was 2006. Do you remember what happened in 2006? That's when George W. Bush's presidency was waning, and Democrats had a massive wave election. If you recall, that was for voters in central New York. I was there at the time. That was after Sherry Bullard had resigned and retired.
Oh, that year.
And that's when, and Democrats took back that seat in 2006. Democrats won everywhere in 2006, and it was largely because George W. Bush was so unpopular. Now, the difference is that even that 30% of Republican support for George W. Bush during that time was shaky. There weren't even Republicans that were super passionate about him, and Donald Trump retains a passionate base of supporters who, as you rightly point out, he can do no wrong. But there's just no scenario in which a Republican could feel comfortable about where things stand going into the midterm elections, and that's based on statistics. That's not based on emotion. It's the price of gas. It's the price of everyday goods when you go to the grocery store. There's just not a single metric that when you compare those metrics to campaign results over the past 50 years that would demonstrate that Republicans have an opportunity here to overcome those difficult headwinds. Now, the biggest difference between 2006 and 2026, this is 20 years we're talking about, is that these House districts have been so crazily gerrymandered that there are far fewer competitive districts as there was back in 2006. I mean, basically, the Bullard district doesn't even exist anymore because of redistricting. So that, I think, is the last thing that Republicans are holding on to, that these districts have been gerrymandered enough that the losses can't be insurmountable. But in terms of just pure politics, there's just no sign, and that's not my personal opinion about Donald Trump's performance, not my personal opinion about Republican policies. It's just the raw data that's telling us that the American people are not happy with the direction of the country.
Ryan, we're out of time. I appreciate it. The comments are flowing in now. Can we save them for tomorrow? Because I want to get into them tomorrow. Especially,
yes, please.
My Instagram will probably be filled up as well, so I appreciate all those comments in advance.
Especially Ja Week, my new nickname for him, Ja Week. Ryan, have a wonderful day. We'll be watching. Talk next week.
Thanks, guys.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
A progressive declares victory in Michigan. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Abdul El-Sayed, who's backed by socialists, posted on X this morning that he won the Democratic Senate primary, though votes are still being counted as he leads Congresswoman Haley Stevens by about 1%.
We have a responsibility to assure that we unite to make sure that Mike Rogers never sees the inside of the U.S. Senate.
Mike Rogers is the Republican hoping to flip that Michigan Senate seat, now held by a retiring Democrat. And Rogers tells Fox,
the DSA candidates in the state in two different congressional races look like they're pulling it off as well. The Democrat Party is lost to this hardcore socialist attitude.
The two candidates he's referring to are Donovan McKinney and William Lawrence. McKinney, supported by socialists, leads a House race in Michigan ahead of Congresswoman Shree Thenadar, who's backed by the House's Democratic leader. Lawrence is a progressive who won another congressional Democratic primary. In Missouri, though, progressive Cori Bush lost her comeback attempt trying to win a House seat back, losing by more than 20 points to Congressman Wesley Bell. Republicans need to find a new candidate in another state.
Congressman Chuck Edwards, the Republican representative from North Carolina's 11th Congressional District, is ending his campaign for a new term. Edwards' decision comes after a House ethics panel found substantial evidence, in their words, the congressman harassed female staffers.